is that you want us to put water on the crops.
Yes.
Water. Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
So let's go back. Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why do they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Of course, all this stuff happens on Friday the 13th. Of course it does. She falls down a well, her eyes go across, she gets kicked by a mule, they go back. I don't know. It is a Friday the 13th, folks. This is not a normal day, and I'm not going to pretend like it is. So gird your loins, tell your friends, wake up Granny, spank her on the fanny, and tell her the good news. Mike Churchill is on, and she needs to listen to it. We got stuff to do here today on a free phone Friday, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday.
It's free phone.
Friday. Friday.
It's free phone.
A free phone Friday. And to boot, it's a Friday the 13th. Call-in line telephone number if you'd like to be on the program today. 844-527-8723. 844-5-CRUSADE. Email address same as it ever hath been. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. Crusader and Mike Church Show Stadium open at crusadechannel.com/chat. And today is a Friday the 13th, to date which shall live in infamy. If you don't know, I hate to start off with such a somber tone, but I think it's incumbent that I should start off with a somber tone because somber is the emotion and mood that is called for. If you don't know the history, what's so funny, Mrs. O'Connell?
Somber. I'm ready.
By the way, Maggie said that she was never radicalized until this morning, and now she's radicalized. And I think you're going to be radicalized, too, by the end of this segment or by the end of the hour. And if you're not, then you should drive yourself to a hospital and have your blood pressure checked, especially if you are a Catholic, because you may not be alive. So if you don't know the story of the Christians who were martyred under Diocletian or Julian or Marcus Aurelius or any of the other emperors that martyred Christians and set them on fire as dressing, as entertainment, basically, for their party guests. If you don't know the story of that, you should probably brush up on it. If you don't know the story, you could just go to the Roman Missal. I know this is a foreign thing for many people. There is this thing called a Roman Missal. You can actually Google search it and find one online if you don't have one, and most people don't. But if you don't have a Roman Missal, get a copy of the Roman Missal. And what you want to see, or what you want to get to, is you want to get to, it's called the Canon of the Mass. And in the Canon of the Mass, you're going to see, I think there's 12 names listed, starting with Marcellinus or Marcellinus. Read those names and commit them to memory. You're going to need them. You're going to need Ignata, Cecilia, Anastasia, Perpetua, Felicitas. You're going to need all these names. Commit them to memory. You're going to need them. If you don't know the story of what happened to the French Catholic Vendée in 1794 to 1796, you should go to my website at mikechurch.com and do a search for Vendée and brush up on it. You're going to need it. If you don't know the story of what happened to the Mexican Catholics under the reign of, and I always forget who this guy was, under the reign of the Mexican dictator at the time, and some of them became known as the Holy Mexican Martyrs, Vivo Cristo Rey. You probably need to know and learn that story. The point is, white martyrdom is already here. The Trump administration is white martyring Carrie Prejan Bowler. Now, I'm not trying to. This is not embellishment here. This is what they did and what they're doing. Some clown named Dan Patrick, who was Maggie? It's in the letter. It's in Carrie Prejan Bowler's letter, which I posted on my X. People were pleading with me yesterday. I don't have access. I don't have social media. Tick ID. You have to give it to me, man. What am I going to do? I downloaded the 6 images of the letter, anticipating that they probably will try, if they haven't already deleted it, that somebody may or some entity may delete it in the future. They basically kicked her off of the Religious Liberty Commission because she committed an act of religious liberty. And in a commission meeting, asked of the Israeli member of the commission, asked him what Zionism was. And then when he explained it to her, then she said, okay, can I ask a follow-up question? And then she gave him Catholic doctrine teaching on the New Israel, which you've heard here on the Mike Church Show. You've heard it on Brother Andre Maurice. He has like 6 episodes of it now. A 2-part series he just finished. episode 503 and 504, I know because I put them in, are all about Ambassador Mike Huckabee's heresy. And he is just, the stuff the man said, we played it for you, is simply, I don't want to say it's insane because he's not crazy. He's a true believer. There are demons at work here, folks. I never thought that I would see the day when a religious persecution in the United States, and I mean a full-on, full-throated one, that now is going to be led by people in the federal government of the United States. If the feds decide, if that Congress decides, and going to tell the feckless, worthless, useless Injustice Department, in-action figure Pam Bondi, that they need to start enforcing this anti-Semitism resolution that they passed under the Zion King, Mike Johnson, then they have some part of the law that they can use to come after you. What's going to happen when in your workplace, when you are asked to apostatize? Because this fever is now building. You're either a Zionist and you're a secondary citizen of Israel, or you're not. And if you're not, you're a Jew hater. And if you're a Jew hater, then we're going to throw you in jail. Or we're going to ruin your life. And if that doesn't work, then we'll pass laws, and then we'll throw you in jail. And if that doesn't work, then we'll kill you. That's how this progresses. Minister, please, you're scaring the children. The children ought to be scared. The children ought to be scared. So the White House sent a letter to Carrie Prejan Bowler informing her that she was kicked off for insubordination. She was kicked off of the Religious Liberty Commission, of which President Trump appointed her. Now, what most people won't know about this story, especially about the brain dead, brainwashed, who are Israelite brains, who are in search of Catholic brains to eat. You know what? I should have done this in the opening of the segment here. Haven't played it in a while. The Catholic airway, the warning siren. we should literally have, I think, a warning siren that the Catholic truth is about. Here you go. I don't play this very often.
Proceed immediately to a truth-resistant shelter. This is not a drill.
This is not a drill.
Warning, warning, Catholic doctrine approaching. Proceed immediately to a truth-resistant shelter. This is not a drill.
This is not a drill because it's not a drill. So Carrie Prejan, or Prejan, as we would say here in Southeast Louisiana, is she a Prejan, shy? Carrie Prejan Bowler, which means she must have married a good French Catholic boy, fired a 6-page letter out to President Trump. I'm going to read most of it to you. And if you haven't seen it, then you should see it and you should read it. So matter of fact, I dare to go out on a limb and say it ought to be read from the pulpit in every Catholic church in America. To warn those that actually go to Mass every Sunday and keep their Sunday obligation of what is about to happen. Pray for a divine intervention. No one wants this to happen. I don't want it to happen. You don't want it to happen. All of you going like, told you so. Dude, save it. Save it. So Carrie Prejan Bowler fires this letter off. And in it, we discover that in 2010, when she was crowned Miss America, and then I still remember this. She gave an interview, and she talked about her Christian Catholic faith, and she was asked a question about homos. I still remember this. And she said, well, she basically gave the Phil Robertson, Duck Dynasty answer, hate the sin, love the sinner. But, my Catholic faith says that, this is disordered thinking. And she said something else. The Miss America Commission took her, does everybody remember? They took her crown away from her. Now, at the time, Citizen Trump stood by Carrie Prejan. I think she was just Carrie Prejan, or Carrie Bowler. No, Carrie Prejan at the time, and said, "This is wrong, Carrie. I stand with you. You're allowed to express your faith and be Miss America." Maybe this is one of the things that caused the dawn, or maybe he already owned the Miss America pageant. I know he bought it somewhere up in there. In any event, that's when Carrie Prejan Bowler met Donald Trump in 2010. So by my count, that's 16 years ago. Now, they have known each other throughout the entirety of those 16 years. She campaigned for him in 2016. She was invited to and attended with her, I think it was with her husband. Maybe not, but she was invited to and attended his inauguration in 2016. When the whole thing went down in flames in 2020, she stood by then President Trump and then turned Citizen Trump. And in 2020, at rallies, she went with him and she showed up at rallies. She was one of the people that he would bring on stage. In 2024, she campaigned with and for him. And then after he was elected, she was at his inauguration in 2025. And then after that, he appointed her to the commission that he established, the Religious Liberty Commission, to preserve, protect, and defend religious liberty in America. Oh, we forgot though. Unless if you're not a Zionist, you don't have any privileges. You don't have any freedom and you don't have any liberty. Get out. You're exaggerating, Mr. Church. I'm not exaggerating. This thing is now descended into what's fastly and rapidly, we better put an end to this, or lots of people are going to die. Here in this country, it's going to happen. Rapidly descending into a persecution of Roman Catholics. Because apparently we Roman Catholics that have actually studied the Bible, imagine that, in our Douay Rheims Bible and in what the Roman Catholic Catechism and the Church teaches us, we know our Lord proclaimed himself as the new Jerusalem, Israel. He and his mystical body is the new Jerusalem, new Israel. A geographic entity that's a spot on a map is not. The people in its government are not. And by the way, they're also not holy. And by the way, they're also not trying to become holy. And if they don't want to do that, that's fine. Religious liberty, again. You may be going like, so what? Some bimbo wrote a letter to Trump. Big deal. Oh, it's a big deal. The Mossad agents out there in influencer media, and that's almost all of them, if not all of them, including Cheese Bree Dale. Oh, what a disgrace you are, Bree. Unbelievable. Mike Parrott called this out. I tried to call Parrott yesterday. He didn't answer, but I did send him a message. I'm like, dude, you called this 3 years ago about her, and it's not that I ever said he was wrong, but I just never jumped on board. Well, she's in Shapiro's employ now. So the influencer, the Zionist influencer cult, which is inspired by Julian Yahoo, the apostate. That's what I'm going to start calling him. Because the persecution is coming. And it's coming from Julian Yahoo, the apostate. So in unison, they all descended upon Carrie Prejan Bowler yesterday when she posted her letter to Trump. And just castigated her, still beating her up. Lara Loomer, Benny Shapiro, as I said, Cheese Bree Dale, fake Catholic impersonator. I'm the Rome correspondent of the Daily Signal Wire. No, you're a bought and paid for hack. And you know what? Your soul's in jeopardy now, Bree. going after Carrie Prejan Bowler and using the influence that Shapiro helped you to build to do it. Absolutely not good. Unacceptable. I wouldn't want to be you right now. And I told, and this is nothing I didn't tell her. Of course, she's going to ignore me. What is Mike Church? No, Mike Church hasn't sold his soul. I'm not in the Epstein file, and I will not take a knee to the Zionist or to Julian Yahoo, the apostate, or, and here's how we know that it's coming. Forgive my language here, but I must say this. Fox News, all Jew all the time. All war, all the time. All Zion, all the time. Anyone that's watching that's a Catholic, you're in trouble. As a matter of fact, if I didn't need it to get headlines off of and certain sound bites, I would turn it off. I said my St. Michael prayer on the Feast of the Epiphany. You know, we did the CBM blessing of the whole house, including this room, and everything in here got splashed with a little bit of holy water, so I think we're okay. Senator Ted Cruz yesterday proclaimed that if you use the term Christ is King on social media, you're an anti-Semite, you're against the war in Iran and all the flag waving and mom and apple pie, and you're also now a Jew hater. Let that sink in. A member of the United States Senate, a Republican, has told you it's illegal to say Vivo Cristo Rey.
You want your talk radio shaken.
You look pale, Mr. Bond. I hope I didn't frighten you.
I see, I've always been a nervous passenger.
Some men just don't like to be driven.
Not stirred.
No, some men just don't like to be taken for a ride.
Truth never dies on the Crusade Channel. King-sized truth from radio-sized speakers.
I have a friend, about 50, had a bad accident and couldn't go back to work. If you're between the ages of 49 and 63 and can't go back to your job because of a physical or mental disability, Social Security could pay you as much as $3,800 a month. If you or a family member is unable to work because of a disability, call the Social Security Disability Helpline. Our team will give you a free case review and explain to you how much money you're entitled to, and you won't pay anything unless we get you benefits. See if you or a family member is entitled to close to $45,000 a year in Social Security disability funds. Remember, this is not something for people over the age of 65. If you're under 65 and can't work, call now.
800-413-8964. 800-413-8964. That's 800-413-8964.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Spirit of 76. The Spirit of 76 details the true story of the writing and ratifying of the U.S. Constitution.
And here I would make this inquiry of those worthy characters who composed a part of the late Federal Convention. Sir, give me leave to demand, what right have they to say, we the people? Who authorized them?
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and is packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Spirit of 76 on a 2-DVD or 3-CD set. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
You're listening to the Crusade Channel, live talk radio for the men of new Christendom and the trad wives who love them.
Hey, it's the King Dude with another free lesson in stuff you really don't need to know. Did you know that the Carillon de Sacre-Cœur flag was first created in 1903 in the village of St. Jude in Quebec? Its history, however, can be traced back to the Battle of Fort Carillon between the French of New France and the British. The battle took place on 8 July 1758 at Fort Carillon, which is now known as Fort Ticonderoga. Here's another fact for you. The Sacred Heart of Jesus flag that we sell is the original merger of two separate flags. And did you know that our Founders Trading Post is the exclusive maker and distributor of this one-of-a-kind, full-size, beautiful flag? Order a Sacred Heart of Jesus flag right now and take $5 off and get a matching Sacred Heart flag bumper sticker for free. Don't cost nothing. The Carillon de Sacre Coeur flag will beautify any indoor or outdoor space it flies in, but supplies are limited. Order today at mikechurch.com/flag or call us at 844-527-8723.
The Mike Church Show. A lone voice crying out in the wilderness.
What rights do you think you're referring to?
Rights, like in that official paper that they wrote down the street there?
That's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, the Bill of Rights. Don't it say something about going after what makes you happy?
No, that's the pursuit of happiness. But what's your point?
My point is I'm pursuing something and nobody looks too happy about it.
He's defending your pursuit of the right to happiness by way of the truth since Rocky IV.
Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody.
The Mike Church Show is heard exclusively on the Crusade Channel.
Because it's coming, buddy. Dirty laundry, baby. And I'm going to start calling this show today and the Mike Church Show and the Ethics and Broadcasting Network Radio Free America. Because we may be all that's left that hasn't been absorbed by the Zionist blob. Shocking times in which we live, folks. Seriously. You know, you could quote Father Neumoller and that famous little poem that he wrote in 1938 or 1936, Weimar, Germany. First they came for the ... and I said nothing. Then they came for the ... and I said nothing. Then they came for the ... and I still said nothing. Then it was too late. They came for me. Don't let them come for you and not be prepared. So, if you are practicing Roman Catholic, maybe you're not even practicing. Maybe you're going like, maybe I need to start going back to Mass. Maybe you do. First thing I do, though, confession, baby. Hit it. Hashtag confess harder. Get into a state of grace, and what you do after that then will be much better than what you would have done if not before. As a matter of fact, I anticipate I'm going to have to go to Mass early this Sunday. Lines at St. Patrick's are going to be down into the street to get into the confessional because Catholic men are going to now be instinctively, the Holy Ghost being moving among you, are instinctively going to go, I got to gird my loins. I got a family. It's going to happen to Father if they ask him. What happens if they get to bishops? What happens if Ted Cruz's pronouncement that you're not allowed to say Christ the King in public, that makes you a Jew hater and a pariah? What happens if that doesn't quell us? What happens if that doesn't stop us? We have another lunatic out there, the pastor of Pete Hegseth, out there saying, no more Marian processions. They're illegal now. We need to, the United States government needs to make it, and no more Eucharistic processions either. These are acts of idolatry. I love my boy, what's his name, the Dixieland Catholic? No, not Dixieland. Mason Dixon Catholic dude on X.com. Mag, you should show the audience that tweet. After the Marian procession ban that has now, folks, I am not playing with any of this. This is not let's get some ratings and clicks and likes. I'm trying to prepare you as we're trying to prepare ourselves. Don't think it can't happen here. It's already happening here. Now, I didn't give you the grand coup d'etat. But anyways, Hegseth pastor, the no more marrying processions, these are acts of idolatry. So, and we're not going to allow that in our new Zionist Protestant America. Well, you know what? You can ask and then you can demand in one hand, pal, and you can do you know what in the other. As the Mason-Dixon Catholic with a picture of a Marian procession going down the street goes, come and take it. But I haven't given you why I am so alarmed. It's not just Ted Cruz. It's not just the sacking and now the white martyrdom being led by Shapiro and his gang, including the now Catholic apostate Bree Dale. It's not just that. Now you have Benjamin Netanyahu giving press conferences or talks or speeches or addresses or whatever the hell it was, proclaiming that now, thanks to American Zionists, Israel is now the world's second superpower. Wait a minute. I thought you just wanted the right to exist. What happened to right to exist? What happened to we had to get rid of Hezbollah. Hezbollah and their hang gliders. Because we have a right to exist. Oh, when we had to kill all these Palestinians too, because we have a right to exist. Now we have to kill the Iranians because we have a right to exist. Pretty soon it'll be the Lebanese again, got a right to exist. And if the Saudis and the Emirates and the Omanis and the Qatarians and the Kuwaitians don't join, dude, you're on the list. You're on the list. Lindsey Graham out there the other day, along with Pond Vanity, basically telegraphing either you join this Zionist crusade to turn the world Zion and to turn Israel into the superpower. And if that happens, then does Netanyahu start working fake miracles? Because if he does, I'm sorry, he's Julian Yahu the apostate. Israel is now the world's second superpower. Well, gee, I wonder who is the first. There's another part of this. I wonder what the Russian Orthodox, and I don't care whether he's actually really Orthodox or not, because it doesn't matter. I suppose at some level it does. But I wonder if the titular member of the Russian Orthodox Church, whose name is Vladimir Putin, who does Marian processions, I've seen him in one, who does Eucharistic processions, I've seen him in one. I wonder what Vladimir Putin thinks Pastor Simmons's proclamation that the United States must make Marian processions and Eucharistic processions a thing of the past. Folks, you never thought that it would come in this form. You know, just the other day, who were we reading from? Father Rippinger was saying he thought that this persecution was going to come in the form of an economic persecution. Well, there's, Father, I'm sure that you're onto something. That will be the first phase of it. First phase of it will be, we're not going to let you play in our reindeer games. We're going to root off the red-nosed reindeer, you Catholics. You know, as Carrie Prejan Bowler pointed out in her beautiful letter, how dare you, Mr. President? How dare you? You betrayed us. You betrayed all the Roman Catholics who voted for you. And you now turn the White House basically into the Knesset. Pretty soon, I imagine Julian Yahu the apostate is going to make another visit. Is he going to stand side by side with Trump? Is Trump going to appoint him? Are they going to join together? And by the way, this ridiculous now I see how stupid and ridiculous it was. This ridiculous now that I'm going to be the peace president? Dude, you're going to be the president presiding over World War III if you don't back out and back out now. Here's the headline at the lettersfromleo.com. Pete Hegseth's pastor wants to ban Catholic processions in America. I said, Simmons, his name is Wilson. Pastor Doug Wilson was welcomed to the Pentagon's auditorium to lead a worship service on February the 18th, broadcast live on the DOD's internal television network. You know, Pete, that kind of sounds like an establishment of religion to me. I thought these sorts of things were outlawed and didn't happen in the hallowed halls of the Pentagon and an American government. Wilson, a 72-year-old pastor from Moscow, Idaho. Coincidence? I think not. Who co-founded the denomination Hegseth belongs to, stood before American service members and delivered a 15-minute sermon about putting Jesus Christ first. Hegseth praised him publicly from the stage. Thank you for your leadership, your mentorship, for the things you started, the truth you told, the willingness to be bold. You mean the willingness to be bold in heresy? The willingness to be bold in blasphemy? The willingness to be bold in sacrilege? You know, the more I think about it, the more when I was on Sirius XM and they got rid of me because I was too Catholic for satellite radio, and we were talking about some of these things, it's now clearly apparent that the Zion Mossad Mafia was also working back then. So they canceled Carrie Prejan as Miss America. They canceled Mike Church as America's morning show host on the Sirius Patriot Channel. This was 11 and 16 years ago. So people think like, no, this is just happening, TK. They don't have the infrastructure. Oh, no, they have the infrastructure. As a matter of fact, I say they own most of your political class. Here's something Pete Hegseth, mentor, has been bold about: banning Catholic processions in America. Maggie, do we have the soundbite? Because I don't want to read it when we can actually play it. And I don't usually play soundbites in the second segment of the program, but I think you need to hear this one. And I think you need to hear it loud and clear. Number 10. So if you think that this is just, yeah, but he doesn't have any. The Secretary of War is leading the Zionist campaign against the Iranians. What, are you pro-Iran now? I'm not pro-Iran. I'm anti-war. And no, I am most certainly anti-Zionism. You should be too. Why should I be? Because it's a heresy. This is a fake. You want to talk about instituting and then elevating an idol. The government and the geographic area called Israel is the grandest idolatry of all time. Okay, let's listen to Pastor Wilson in his own words.
Let me give you a couple of very practical examples. Okay. Could Muslims be here? Live? Yes, they could be. Could they hold political office? No. Could Muslims gather together with their Muslim family and friends to pray to Allah? Yes. Right? Could you have a mosque? Yes. Could they have a minaret, a prayer tower that issues a public call to prayer? No. Because the public spaces belong to Christ. Right? We're a Christian nation. So church bells are okay. Church bells are okay, but a Muslim call to prayer in the public space would not be okay. Catholic church bells would be okay, right? Catholic church bells would be okay, but a parade in honor of the Virgin Mary, carrying an image of the Virgin Mary down Main Street, no, right? So
what about the Eucharist? What about the Eucharist? What about a Eucharistic procession?
All right, here it comes.
That's a new one. I would say probably not. It would depend on what was being done around it, how it was being conducted. But basically, public displays of idolatry, what the Protestant foundation of the law would consider to be idolatry, would not be allowed. So you wouldn't have a Hindu procession with a Hindu god. You wouldn't have a procession of the Virgin Mary.
Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Come and take it. Come and take it. You know, this is where your heresy, and this is where when people say, as long as you believe in God, it doesn't matter. Oh, no, it matters. It matters. When you had Insurrection Barbie, who, by the way, is the wife of Jason Aldean. You know, this is just an interesting thing for me to share with the Mike Church Show, Red, White, and Dude Nation audience. And it's... You can take this for what it's worth. Oh, come on, TKD, you don't really believe it. No, I actually do. Insurrection Barbie is the wife of fake country boy Jason Aldean. For some reason, and now I know why, for some reason, I have always had this just visceral reaction, negative reaction to all things Jason Aldean. Somebody called the show once about, I don't remember how many years ago. Because, you know, he's one of the guys that was playing at the Mandalay Bay Casino event on that Sunday in October of 2017 when Stephen Paddock mowed down 57 people and then killed himself. Jason Aldean was one of the guys that was there. So somebody it said something about Aldean and about the fact that he was there and that he was, and I don't even remember, and I poo-pooed it and went like, well, it's fake country music to begin with, and I said something else, and I'm like, this is a guy who couldn't make it in Stadium Rock, put a twang on, and now he's the Fox News, he's the official, he's the next Lee Greenwood. Okay? But something always just rubbed me the wrong way about the guy, and I just didn't like him. And I don't like the music. I don't play it. Don't listen to it. I don't pimp him and prop him up here on this show, and I just never have. And now I know why. Because it was always, again, the Blessed Virgin Mary and my daily prayers to her to aid me and protect me. It was, again, I know it was her, and you can tell me otherwise, whispering in my ear going, stay away, Michael. Michael, I want you to stay away from him. Stay away. She does this often, which is why when people say, why are you so devoted? Why is all this Mary and stuff? Why this Mary? Because she is the Blessed Virgin Mary. She is the mother of Christ. She is the co-redemptrix of all of us. Her DNA is in his DNA. When you go to communion and you receive our blessed Lord and Savior and his body, soul, and divinity, because that's what happens to the bread and the wine, you are receiving her DNA. You know, and you know where I got that from? I got that from Father Rippinger. That's a Father Rip sermon that I'm getting. In any event, Insurrection Barbie is the wife of Jason Aldean. So while Insurrection Barbie and Dana Lash these were the I guess this was the light brigade. These were the ones to go out and then begin the scorched earth against Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson to try to pave the way for the next wave of Mossad influencers who would then come in and now set their sights on Carrie Prejan Bowler. And she is now being drummed out of polite society, but there's something strange happened on the way to cancellation. The great slumbering giant that is the beast, that is the mystical body of Christ in the United States, and I'm talking to you, Catholics, has been poked. You poked us, and now you've awakened many of us. There are many more people that are now going to come to the realization that religious indifference, the thing you tolerated, was the thing you should have resisted the most. That this idea here that all religions are created equal, well, now you got Muslims and Sharia law breathing down your neck in Dallas, Texas, and in Minnesota, and in New York. And now you're going to have the March of the Zionist in the government of the United States, and it's going to come for you. And here's how this is going to go down. This is going to go down where it's going to become a question as to whether or not this is going to be a George Bush Iraq war question. He who is not with me is against me, Bush quoted our Lord in that speech he gave to Congress in 2003 before the invasion. Do you remember being asked, are you for the war? So now you're going to be asked, are you for the cleansing of Persia? Are you for the Zion war against Iran? What happens if the Ottoman Empire rears its ugly head and Erdogan decides, I'm standing with the Shia Muslim brethren in Iran? Now you've actually brought nukes into the fight, because Turkey has nukes. I don't know if you know that. What if the Shia Muslims next door in Afghanistan decide, we are standing with if there are Shias in Afghanistan, we are standing with our Shia brethren? What if the Taliban reemerge? That can't happen, Mike. Trump I obliterated the Taliban. Sorry, didn't do it. What if the Taliban reemerges and decides, because they're right next, they're on the border of Iran. Go look at the border map. That they're going to stand with their Shia Muslim brethren in Iran. There aren't enough stealth bombers, there aren't enough ballistic missiles, there aren't enough cruise missile launchers, and there aren't enough naval vessels to take on Asia. And yet Trump has put the United States in the position where this is a very real possibility. You haven't even heard the grand damn clip of all. Play number 4. You want to hear it right out of his own mouth? Here is Julian Yahoo, the apostate. I'm sorry. Pardon my manners. Here's Emperor. It's number 4, right? Or is it number 3? Oh, it's number 3. Here is Emperor Julian Yahoo, the apostate, about to become Christian persecutor, Catholic persecutor extraordinaire.
We are in historic days, days that will be written in the annals of Israel. In Operation Roaring Lion, our roar is growing and intensifying. We are pummeling the Islamic regime in Tehran. We are pummeling its emissaries, Hezbollah in Lebanon. There's unprecedented coordination between Israel and the U.S. and achieved substantial achievements that are changing the reality in the West Bank, in the Middle East and beyond. These achievements are increasing the status of Israel as a superpower more than ever.
Superpower.
Through our power, in opposition to the power of our enemies, this is what is ensuring our survival. Our threats come and go, but when we become a regional superpower, and in many respects a global superpower, we have the power to push away threats and ensure our future. In 1993, I published an article in one of the newspapers in which I wrote, the biggest threat to the state of Israel is not in Arab states, but it is in Iran. Since then, for over 30 years, the murderous Ayatollah regime indeed has acted to attack the U.S. and the West. But first and foremost, it worked to implement its plan to destroy the state of Israel.
Global superpower. Now that we're a global superpower, I thought this was all about its survival. I thought this was an existential battle here. You're a global superpower. That means that, well, I guess America, the United States, is part of the globe, is it not? So now do we all have to throw our Julian Yahoo, the apostate, prayer mats down with our blue and white stars firmly screen printed on T-shirts on our back now? Which direction is Israel? Which way do you want me to bow? Oh, Right. Never. Never.
Walk along the city streets you used to walk along with me, and every step I take reminds me of just how we used to be. Well, how can I forget you, girl? And there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Shadows fall, I pass a small cafe where we dance at night. And I can't help recalling how it felt to kiss and hold you tight. Oh, how can I forget you, girl, when there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me.
The Crusade Channel, talk radio the way it should be. Broadcasting live from Madisonville, Louisiana, and streaming 24/7 at crusadechannel.com. You're listening to the Crusade Channel, a Black Hat Studios media property. Broadcasting live 24/7 from Madisonville, Louisiana, and to the world via crusadechannel.com.
Silver and gold.
In these turbulent times, buying silver and gold is such a no-brainer that even snowmen know they should do it. Now, all precious metal dealers claim to be the best, but only one can claim they are endorsed by the KingDude, and that's Miles Franklin. My friend Andy Scheckman's a regular guest on my show and a regular genius when it comes to silver and gold, and I trust him with my silver and gold purchases, and so should you. So email Miles Franklin today for your exclusive Mike Church Show discount price list. info@milesfranklin.com.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
Hi, folks, it's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
I know there is still a chance for peace and reconciliation. I know it, despite what has happened here today. I trust there are many in this room who have not been consumed with the fevers of war, the fevers of Mr. Adams' war.
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
When most people hear the word coffee, they conjure up visions of a ceramic mug in the palm of both hands and a woman slowly sipping. This isn't a Folgers commercial. It's for Capuchin Holy Roast, and here's how I take mine. With a dash of vanilla, a pinch of cinnamon, a spoonful of honey, and lots of heavy cream. Add some ice, shake, and then enjoy, while knowing that's $6 the libs at Starbucks can't spend to ruin my life and yours.
Capuchin Holy Roast in whole bean or grind is available at shop.mychurch.com.
This is Capcom. We are ready to go for launch at the Crusade Channel launch site.
New show lineup.
Go.
Broadcasting live on X, YouTube, and Rumble.
We're go, Flat.
Breaking news updates.
Go.
The Mike Church Show Band.
We're go.
We're go for launch for the Crusade Channel 4.0 mothership.
2, 1, lift off.
On August 4th, the Crusade Channel launched Crusade Channel 4.0, the mothership. And now you can see why everyone else is lost in space. It's not tape or a Post-it or a candy bar, but this new 3M
is the freshest spin on true crime shows since dinosaurs were solving cold cases with fossil evidence. Yeah, it's that original, folks.
Mom's Murders and Mysteries. New episodes debut every Tuesday night, 6:30 East, 4 West, exclusively on the Crusade Channel. Live talk podcast radio, the way it should be.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
Everybody loves a good trilogy. The Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and now the KingDude seasoning trilogy. There's Beast and Butt Rub, Acadiana Steak, and the brand new Chicken Mamu seasoning, a lemon herb-based rub that's won trophies in barbecue chicken cook-offs. Now, we've bundled all 3 spices together, and you can get them for one low price for less than it costs to rent a movie trilogy. And the KingDude offers you his personal money-back guaranteed of your taste buds' complete satisfaction. Order a KingDude seasoning trilogy today at shop.mychurch.com. You're listening to the Crusade Channel, live talk radio for the men of new Christendom and the trad wives who love them.
The Mike Church Show wanted to choose a special term for the loyal and erudite members of our audience. But dude was already taken.
Dude.
So we picked Veritas instead. Hey, Cosgrove, Veritas meets to solve the world's problems every morning with a KingDude. Will you be there?
It's a deal.
The Mike Church Show, heard exclusively on the Veritas Radio Network's Crusade.
I do feel, Reg, that any anti-imperialist group like ours must reflect such a divergence of interest within its power base.
Agreed. Francis? Yeah, I think Judith's point of view is very valid, Reg, provided the movement never forgets that it is the unalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself. Agreed. Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I think you finished. Oh, right. Furthermore, it is the birthright of every man or woman. Why don't you shut up about women, Stan? You're putting us off.
Women have a perfect right to play a part in our movement, Reg.
Why are you always on about women, Stan?
I want to be one.
What?
I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta.
What?
It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies.
You want to have babies?
It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them.
But you can't have babies.
Don't you oppress me.
I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry.
What's the point?
What?
What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies?
It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression.
Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
Let's do it! You gotta beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock.
You can boogie, love disco, love that disco sound. Move on your body, spinning round and round. But don't forget, oh no. Don't forget, oh no. The stars are 45, keep on turning in your mind. But we can work it out. Remember, twist the shout. You still not tell me why, and no reply.
Sugar, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you, honey. Sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This happened once before. I came to your door, no reply. They said it wasn't you, but I saw you peek through.
Well, apparently, anti-Marian Pete is addressing the media on the latest in Operation Epstein Fury. And if you're just joining us, things have changed. Things have changed dramatically. So if you're not up to speed, I'll try to catch you up with it. And all that has transpired just in the space of the last 24 hours. It's happening faster than some of us can even keep up with. But it's the Mike Church Show here, part of the Ethics in Broadcasting Network here on a Free Phone Friday. And call-in line telephone number is 844-527-8723. We believe that it's in the public interest that this show be free of charge to anyone that wants to listen to it or watch it today, kind of like what we did during the Corona Doom. And so we removed the paywall on the radio stream and also on the YouTube and the other video outlets. So if you want to watch or listen or tell someone to tune in to Radio Free, Catholic Radio Free America, then they are more than welcome to tune in and to listen. I was going to hear what Hegseth is saying.
Peace through strength in action. From day one, as our nation expects and the president demands, our warriors have fought with lethality, precision, and rapid innovation. In fact, today will be, yet again, the highest volume of strikes that America has put over the skies of Iran and Tehran. The number of sorties and number of bomber pulses, the highest yet, ramping up and only up. And quantity has a quality of its own as we continue to ramp up. Every tool of AI, of cyber, of space, EW, counter-UAS, you name it, we're employing it. Blinding, confusing, and deceiving our enemy. Because we know who the good guys are here. And the American people do too.
We know that they aren't Catholics.
And that makes my job simple. I serve God, the troops, the country, the Constitution, and the President of the United States, and answer only to those. All in service of victory on the battlefield and the military objectives that we've laid out from day one.
And what are they?
Defeat the missiles, missile launchers, and defense industrial base, which I laid out today. Defeat the Navy and deny Iran the ability to have a nuclear weapon. Clear, decisive, achievable. And Admiral Cooper knows, the CENTCOM commander who we spent a couple of hours with last night, that in pursuit of those objectives, we have his back in every way. His commanders know that. and so do the troops in harm's way. Admiral Cooper gets what he needs, the assets, the authorities, the munitions, you name it. We will stop at nothing to win. War is hell. War is chaos. And as we saw yesterday with the tragic crash of our KC-135 tanker, bad things can happen. American heroes.
Well, we'll just build another one, don't worry.
And as I have with all of them, as we have, we will greet those heroes at Dover, and their sacrifice will only recommit us to the resolve of this mission. But war in this context and in pursuit of peace is necessary, which is why each day on bended knee we continue to appeal to heaven, to Almighty God's providence, to watch over and give special skill and confidence to our leaders and to our warriors.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Don't drag God into this, Pete. This is not of God. It is an unjust war. There was peace before you launched the sortie missions and the bombs and the missiles. The Iranians, to my knowledge, didn't shoot at anybody. Yeah, but there were 47 years there, and we're there within 2 weeks. 2 weeks to slow the... Why is it always 2 weeks? 2 weeks to slow the spread, 15 days to flatten the curve. Remember this? You know, they were within 2 weeks of taking over the Middle East. Here's a little news flash here for you. Afghanistan next door is mostly Sunni, but there are radical Shia and the Taliban. Now, if you go one more country over and you go to Pakistan, what do we find in Pakistan? Well, about 20% of the population is Shia Muslim, as are the Persians. And guess what? Even if the Turks were to decide, the Ottoman Empire is not ready for its caliphate yet. We're coming, and we're going to have a caliphate, but just not yet. If the Pakis get dragged into this, or if the Pakis would decide to join, the Pakistanis do have nukes. So now there's two options now to bring nukes into this. One is an alliance between the Persians or the Iranians and the Afghanis, maybe not likely. And another is an alliance between the Persians and the Pakistanis, as I said, maybe a little bit more likely. The Pakistanis have incendiary nuclear devices. Why would you even take the risk or the chance that that's even possible? And now it's a war. I don't know. Isn't it scary? I think it's almost over. 2 days ago, Trump was in Kentucky, or 3 days ago, proclaiming that the only thing the Iranians had left were bottle rockets. So no surrender. The Supreme Ayatollah commander said that the Iranian people, are you going to, Commander Hegseth, are you prepared to start exterminating Iraqi civilians now? Because you're going to run out of military targets. What are you going to do after that? What are you going to do after, you'll just go to your buddy Bibi, and you'll just go to Julian Yahoo, the apostate, who will tell you there's starving children in the streets of Tehran. That's just the price you have to pay. Here, you don't have to worry. We'll send IDF in to kill children, just like in Palestine. They are collateral damage to the great, to the world of the great Zion Satan that we are erecting as Israel becomes, the superpower. I wonder what the egomaniac Trump thinks about Netanyahu proclaiming himself the leader now, the Emperor Julian Yahoo, the apostate, the emperor of a global superpower. I wonder how that's sitting with the Don. I wonder when Bibi, I saw that you anointed yourself as a superpower. I made you a super. You didn't even give me any credit. It's America that made you a superpower. I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to understand. Now, if you just woke up and you didn't hear any of this, let's go back to the top. I haven't even played you Ted Cruz yet. Maybe you want to do that one. You want to hear what your Texas senator thinks about Christ the King? It's number 8. If you put Christ the King on your social media, you're a Jew hater. And there are laws against Jew haters, okay? And I'm Ted Cruz, the most conservative person in the history of the United States. And I should be president right now. Not that Donald Trump. That's okay, though, because I love Israel. And I don't like Christ the King. I'm a Christian, but I'm not a Christ the Kinger.
And I said, I'm really troubled by how the phrase Christ is King is being used. Look, I agree with the statement, Christ is King. Although it is being used online in a way that is meant to say, screw you, Jew. It is being used in a context very directly to say, I hate Jews, and that's almost an online code word. Christ is King is, I hate the Jew.
Is that your view, or why do you say that?
Because you see the people who are saying it, and they're saying it in that context. They're saying Jews are horrible.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. You're a liar. You're a demagogue, and you're a liar, and you're a disgrace to the United States Senate. You're a disgrace to the state of Texas. And guess what? You're a flippin' Canadian, too. You shouldn't even be in the Senate. He's talking about Carrie Prejan Bowler. Well, I'll give you the context that she used Christ the King. She wrote Trump a letter protesting being kicked off the Religious Liberty Commission. And in the end, in the last paragraph, she says, oh, by the way, Mr. President, Christ is the King. Christ is King. And then she signed the letter, in Christ the King, yours truly, Carrie Prejan Bowler. He's talking about Carrie. I wonder who else is out there using Christ. Go on, you can count me in now, Ted. So I wrote to Ted Cruz on Twitter, and I told him Christ is King in 4 languages. I told him Christ is King, vivo Cristo Rey, Cristo le roi in French, and then I told him in Latin. What is going on? Or Christus Rex in Latin. You want to live under the kingdom of Christ King, and it is Christus Regnum. Is there more of this, Maggie? Oh yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the tape.
Is that your view, or why do you say that?
Because you see the people who are saying it, and they're saying it in that context. They're saying Jews are horrible, good, like they're attacking Jews, and they end with Christ is King. To make it sound like somehow there's a biblical basis for attacking Jews. Look, Jesus was a Jew. And by the way, the twisted theology that says Jews are Christ killers, and that's been used to justify anti-Semitism, to justify
Stop the tape. This is not twisted theology. According to to the Jewish historian, Julius, it's history. No, the Romans did. Well, the Romans carried out the sentence demanded by Caiaphas and Ananias and the high priests and the scribes of Israel. It's not a twisted theology. It's actually, if you just leave, we'll cast the Holy Synoptic Gospels out. We'll leave them out of it. The history of that epic. One of the histories of that epic was written by a Jewish historian named Julius. Look it up. Where do you get the account of the crucifixion of Jesus of Nazareth in a historical context? You get it from the Romans. And there it is. No one disagrees. You know, there was a guy, I can't remember his name, Lee Vogel, I think. There's a guy that was an atheist, and he was a writer for the Chicago Sun-Times, and he went on a crusade to prove that Jesus never happened, and he was basically with Ben Shapiro that maybe there was a Jesus of Nazareth, but he was just a common petty theft criminal, and he certainly wasn't divine, and he certainly was our Lord. And at the end of his journey, Vogel finds out that, wait a minute, there are all these other historical accounts. This stuff isn't apocryphal. It's actually, it's historiological. And actually, it exists extant. And ultimately, Vogel could not prove. And look, this guy was an atheist. And he went on the quest. And he even told his editor, he goes, I'm going to write a piece. It's going to be a big piece. I'm going to go to the Holy Land. We got all the intel. And we're going to prove that this whole Jesus thing is a hoax. Now, he didn't become a Catholic, but he did convert to some form of Christianity. He was baptized. That's at the end of the movie, and I can't remember the name of the movie. I did watch it. There have been attempts since 33 AD to whitewash that the Jews killed Jesus of Nazareth from history. I don't even know why you even continue it. Just own it, Ted. Netanyahu certainly owns it. I'm sorry. Julian Yahu, the apostate, Emperor Julian Yahu certainly owns it. Little Ben Shapiro doesn't deny it. Oh, yeah, we killed him. Absolutely, we killed him. He was a criminal. Common criminal thief. Little Ben will tell you. So, who is this guy working for? Well, he sure as hell isn't working for you people. He sure as Hades is not representing the good Catholics of Texas. And there are millions of them who put him in office. Is there more? All right, Maggie's telling me, no, you got to play the Reds. You don't have to play it. I'm just saying. Well, no, let's hear more. Theology. Hold on. Theology from Ted. We should have a little theme song for that. And now, Theology with Ted.
Execution and murder. Look, as I read the Gospels, Jesus went to the cross willingly. He made the choice to go to the cross, and it was not the Jews who killed Jesus. It was me. It was you. Look, Jesus died for our sins.
So he nailed himself to the cross. Okay.
And the wages of sin is death.
You crucified yourself.
And Jesus took on the punishment that you deserve and I deserve so that we could be covered in his blood and receive salvation, not through works, not through what we do, but through the gift of God. And so the idea of
don't do anything good, whatever you do.
To be clear, the precise people who drove the nails in Jesus' wrists and feet.
Here it comes.
Were the Romans.
The Romans. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Italians. They happened to be who was in charge of the government at the time that Jesus was crucified, but it was Pontius Pilate who gave the order. And so I will say the phrase, look, Christ is King, and to be honest, that was not a phrase I grew up with in church, and I was thinking about it the other day. You know, we would say things like Jesus loves you, Jesus saves. That tended to be more.
Do we have to continue this?
Christ is King is a phrase that seems to have originated online, and it's some of kind of the Groyper folks that it almost sort of invokes images of the Crusade, that in the name of Jesus we will conquer everyone else in a way that I don't think is right or biblical.
No works. The Jews didn't kill him. There's never been anything called Christ the King. I wonder how many Christ the King schools there are in the United States. I wonder how many Christ the King churches there are in the United States. I know when I was in first and second grade in Norfolk, Virginia, my mother sent me to a Catholic school. Guess what it was called? Christ the King. Here in Louisiana, I just happen to know that not far from here, there is a Christ the King church. There is a Christ the King school. There is an entire entity, Ted, called the Institute of Christ the King Sovereign Priest. We happen to know a couple of them. There's no Christ the King? I don't remember going and seeing Jesus saves all. The apostolic mission, Ted, if you want to quote scripture, no, I'm not a theologian, but forgive me if I get any of this slightly inaccurate, but I'll be as accurate as I can. I'm pretty sure the gospel, the apostolic order, the imperative command from our Savior himself, I'm pretty sure that the command said something to the effect of, and therefore, go ye forth and teach all men of all nations all that I have taught you. Now, did I get that wrong? Did he say, and go forth and teach the Texans out there that are calling themselves Christians and say, I love Jesus? I am almost certain that he said, go forth and teach all men of all nations. And of course, this is also a command to go and teach the Gentiles, which we also cannot have in any of our Zionist teaching or our fake Zionist religion. You can't have that. The Gentiles can't be brought in. They're not holy people. Mark 13:10, and unto all nations the gospel must first be preached. Matthew 28:19, going therefore, teach ye all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. I'm pretty sure that's an imperative command that includes the human race. So there is lesson 1 of Theology with Ted. We'll have some more Theology with Ted when we come back. There's a lot more to do here on a Free Phone Friday. Telephones are open, 844-527-8723. So this now we have United States senators, every member of the influencer Mossad Mafia media out there now, actually now teaching the Catechism of Zionism. That's what that was, the Catechism of Zionism.
You want your talk radio shaken.
Do you expect me to talk?
Not stirred.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Truth never dies on the Veritas Radio Network's Crusade.
This is a pixel. I'm Groot. If you put a couple of million of these guys together, you can make a sentence on an LED screen. Put a couple of billion of them together, and you can make a whole page. Put 360 billion, and you've got Joseph Pierce's A History of True England. But it doesn't smell like a history of true England, and it burns teeny little holes in your cornea. So, is the pixel really your friend? I'm Groot. No, Groot, but the Founders Trading Post is your friend, and we have actual books with actual smelly pages. Plus, our little bookstore has everything you'd expect. I'm Groot. Yep, we got Sacred Heart flags, Groot, but no to the One Tree Hill sappy guitar music.
Pick up a copy of Joseph Pierce's True History of England, plus a dozen other Joseph Pierce titles at shop.mychurch.com.
The Crusade Channel and the slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Junipero with your saint of today. Today's feast is the Feast of Saint Euphrasia. She was the daughter of a Roman senator. She became a Catholic nun at the age of 7. She refused all offers to leave the convent and marry a member of the nobility. She gave all of her goods to the poor and died at the age of 30. Saint Euphrasia, pray for us. Thank you for joining us for this brief summary of the life of today's saint. Tomorrow's saint is Saint Matilda. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about our sisters and contribute to the building of our convent by visiting stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Junipera, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you.
Attention Coffee Police Academy students. We will now call the roll. CPA candidate Jones.
Present.
Joe Arabica Friday.
Present.
Tommy Tommy!
Oh, I'm here, sir. I just can't seem to keep my eyes open since I started drinking this Barrett Bargain Basement Stale Bean Water.
And just why are you violating CPA coffee code SPW1AM?
Well, that's easy. So I can save up money to get into the Coffee Cop Academy.
Son, breaking CPA rules so you can get into CPA is no way to become a coffee cop. Now, I am afraid we're going to have to...
Uh-oh. Sounds like Lou has found the academy. And he's on his second cup of Abbey Roast.
Well, what does he want?
He wants to know why the CPA didn't recognize his Rougarou nouns.
Rougarou nouns? And I'm the one that rejected his application.
Will Lou the Rougarou have his revenge and grind the coffee cop into espresso? Stay tuned to this station for our next episode. And in the meantime, order Abbey Roast coffee at shop.mikechurch.com.
Most Crusade Channel wannabes only get the mission half right.
Men, you are about to embark on a great crusade to stamp out runaway decency in the West.
So why settle for half-baked radio hacks crusading in mono when you can get the real deal on the Mike Church Show?
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
In stereo. The Mike Church Show's Great Crusade is on the Veritas Radio Network's Crusade.
Hey guys, you got a minute?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's about my dad. He wants to have a sex change operation.
Whoa, I knew he was gay. I didn't think he was that gay.
No, Peter, he's not gay. He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Yeah, gay.
No, it's totally different.
Sounds the same.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Well, look, let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
He has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support.
All right, but look, here's the deal. Anything he lops off, we get to bring home for Brian.
That's very green of you, Peter.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
Mr. Blue Sky.
Please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
Marcus Tullius Meridius Maximus Augustus, the Oracle of Optimism, the Sultan of Sapientia. It's the Mike Church Show here, the one and only America's Morning Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. Here on a Free Phone Friday, telephone lines are open. Show is free for all who wish to watch or listen to it today. Today, I would imagine that the Masadic algo influencer racket and algorithm is working overtime to suppress anything that can challenge the hegemony of the rise of the new nation of Zion and of the rise of the catechism of Zionism, which is now being falsely preached out there. Folks, these people aren't talking to angels. They're not being inspired by Christ. They're being inspired by demons. This is how they do it. And I never thought that I would have to be one of the ones, or that it's not what I signed up for. But here we are. Now, when you hear Ted Cruz, now who did he give that interview to? I didn't recognize that dude.
It's CBN News.
Oh, it's CBN. So we went on the Christian Broadcasting Network for another episode of Theology with Ted. You know, I think we should hear another piece of that, Maggie. And now, another prayerful episode of Zionist Catechism with Ted.
Really troubled by how the phrase Christ is King is being used. Look, I agree with the statement Christ is King. Although it is being used online in a way that is meant to say,
okay, hold on, that's my prior catechism. I want new catechism, Mrs. O'Connell. I am the smartest Canadian in the United States Senate.
Do you think on Israel, do you think they could defeat Iran without America's help? What's your view on that?
yes, I do. And you look at the 12-Day War.
Okay.
The 12-Day War, Israel completely decimated Iran, and they did almost the entirety of that war on their own. You look at their bombing.
Stop the tape. Trump, if they completely decimated them, why were they a threat 2 years later? You know, my mother used to tell me, don't tell a lie. Why not? I like lying. No, because if you tell one lie, you got to tell 9 more to cover it up. I want you to look at the 12 Days War. I want you to look at it because this is what I'm looking at. Israel completely and totally decimated. It decimated Iran in 12 days, and they pretty much did it on their own. They didn't need any help. They decimated them. Is this the same thing as these people are liars? Is this the same thing as obliterating their nuclear capability? This is like an episode of The Princess Bride. You keep using that word. I don't think that word means what you think it means. You can almost hear it. My name is Inigo Cruz Montoya. You, Ayatollah, tried to kill my father, Netanyahu. Prepare to die. To say that I can't stand this man is an understatement. It's just a farce of a United States senator. But don't worry, though, because the catechism is there. You know, Maggie was talking about this earlier. And I want to play digital media file number 10 for you one more time. Let's hear the rest of it because they were decimated. What does decimated mean? Is that decimated? Come here, Johnny. I'm going to decimate you. Hold your hand out. There, you're decimated. Oh, Mommy, it hurts. It hurts. And if they don't need us, then why are we there? Oh, that's right. They were getting ready to strike. Oh, that's right. 2 weeks to flatten the curve, 15 days to slow the spread. That's right. We had to slow the spread of Iranian jihad. Oh, that's right. Now look what we're doing. Well, we have these beautiful firework displays of United States Air Force jets, of hang gliders, blowing up trucks that are tooling around on 2-lane highways in Iran. Yeah, that'll teach you. Unbelievable. Totally believable. We like war. We're a war-like people. All right.
Raids, and I will tell you, the Mossad, their intelligence penetration is extraordinary. If you remember in the 12-Day War,
who do you work for?
The Ayatollah
Texans
would appoint a new head of the IRGC, and within 24 hours he'd be eliminated, and then he'd appoint a second one, and within 24 hours he'd be eliminated. By the third or fourth, David, how would you react if the Ayatollah says, hey, you want to run the IRGC? I think you might say, maybe you get Bob to do it instead.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want a pager because it could explode, by the way.
I have to say that pager operation
gracious.
Is one of the most extraordinary military and intel operations the world's ever seen. It's like a bad spy novel. If you wrote that script for a movie, Hollywood would reject it. They say, this is not realistic. Nobody can go and create shell companies in Hong Kong.
We got them with pagers. I have to tell you, it was one of the greatest military strategy victories in the history of Earth. Was it now? Oh, wait a minute now. When you took those people out with the pagers, was that wait a minute. Hold on. Was that a decimation? Oh, you should have seen how decimated they were. They were decimated, I tell you. Look, this is some decimation, and Trump is unleashing some deciminifying fury, Epstein fury, on these Persians and on these Iranians. They're going to get it. Yeah, the next guy that's going to be Ayatollah is going to say, no, I don't think you should give it to Bob. There's only one problem with your theory there, Tedley. You know what that is? Shia Muslims actually believe in their religion. They actually believe that what they're doing is going to bring the 12th Ummah, or the 12th, it's going to bring about the 7th Imam. And that will then signal the return of Muhammad. And again, this is just stolen from Christianity to replace Christ with Muhammad. But they actually believe it, Ted. And they are more than happy to become martyrs for it. They don't prize McDonald's and Netflix and Levi's the way you do. They don't care about that. Maybe they have them, maybe I don't know. Well, I know they don't have a McRib sandwich in Iran. I know that. They don't care about things like that. They actually think that a holy war is an actual holy war. And I'm going to say it again. Are you going to send Jerusalem cross heretic man Pete Hegseth out there to say that Trump administration had no choice but to start targeting and assassinating or murdering Iranian civilians? Because that's when you run out of military targets and the Ayatollah and the people of Persia haven't surrendered, what are you going to do? Or are you just going to claim victory and claim that you decimated them and then go home and then, in a year and a half from now, we got intelligence that they've rebuilt their nuclear program. Boy, these guys can build nukes. Look at the speed with which they rebuilt their nuclear arsenal. June of last year, we obliterated them. I'm telling you, they're obliterated. Their capability is gone. It's gone. It's gone. We took it out, okay? Well, they sure as hell rebuilt it mighty fast.
3 times they've been decimated.
So they were decimated in the 12 Days War. Trump obliterated them, and now we're obliterating them and taking them out. This is now the 14-Day War, by the way. It's 12 was chump change. And by the way, if the 12-Day War decimated Iran, why is it in 14 days that the same decimation crew, the IDF and Julian Yahoo, the apostate, now in cahoots with the United States, are the Iranians all decimated and stuff? So this news was breaking yesterday, okay. And then coincidentally, there was a lunatic that rammed a truck or a car, a vehicle of some sort, into a synagogue in Michigan. Just a rando guy just tooling around and decided that a synagogue needed a fresh coat of van paint and drove his van into it. This drove the usual suspects, Slotkin, out there. I've had enough of this! You've had enough of what?
He was mad at Israel.
It was a kind of interesting little tidbit of news. Now, where'd you see that at, Maggie?
It's in your story.
Which one? Hold on, because there was actually, here it is. FBI storms home of Lebanese-born restaurant worker who drove truck filled with explosives into synagogue and opened fire after his family were killed in airstrike. Federal authorities were seen late Thursday night raiding the home of a Lebanese-born restaurant worker who was accused of driving a truck filled with explosives into a Michigan synagogue and opening fire. Ayman Mohammed Ghazili allegedly carried out the attack on Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township, which also serves as a preschool. One security officer was struck and injured by the vehicle, and the attacker was shot dead by a guard at the synagogue. It has since emerged that Ghazali was a naturalized U.S. citizen from Lebanon who worked at a restaurant in the Detroit suburb of Dearborn Heights, or Dearbornistan as they call it, where agents were seen searching his home. An unnamed source told CBS News the attack by Israel was 10 days ago and that two of Ghazali's brothers were also killed. The suburb's mayor, Mo Baidon, said Ghazali lost several members of his own family, including his niece and nephew, in an Israeli attack on their home in Lebanon. Hezbollah, I assume. No, Michael, it is Julian Yahu the apostate. No, not Hamas. Hezbollah in Lebanon. They were a threat to Israel, great Satan, and had to be removed. The 12-year-old niece? Yes, great threat to Israel and had to be removed. Okay. The unnamed CBS source added that Ghazali's ex-wife said he phoned her shortly before the attack, asking her to take care of their children. Authorities said they found a suspect's body inside the vehicle, armed with a rifle. He breached the building, drove down the hall, and he was engaged by security. Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchert said of the armed attacker at a news conference. Ghazali was born in Lebanon in 1985 and entered the United States through Detroit Metropolitan Airport. And 2011, after alien relative and fiance, 30 law enforcement officers also were rushed to a local hospital for smoke inhalation. And there's more to the story. So apparently, the guy was retaliating, or in his mind, retaliating against what I guess he viewed as the source of who killed his nephew and his uncle, or his niece, rather, and his uncle. Now, I'm obviously not going to comment on that and say, like, yeah, because that's just... This is what Ron Paul and others would call blowback. Now, why did he make the connection that Jews in the United States had something to do with what the IDF did? Well, because Ted Cruz told him. And all the other Zionists told him. You're all one unholy, satanic, unmystical body under not Christ and not the King. Because they were told. That's how. You see how there's no... When you leave the reservation of the one true faith, and when you like somebody was commenting in the YouTube chat and said, well, according to Ted Cruz, I guess we should send thank you cards. We should send happy Crucifixion Day cards to the descendants of the Jews who told the Romans to nail Jesus to the cross. This is now coming out as like theology. Oh, by the way, I looked this up because I wanted to make sure that I had it complete. What did Christ actually say? Okay, so in the book of Matthew, about just to Ted Cruz's theology, fake theology, Matthew 28 from the Douay Rheims Bible says this: And the 11 disciples went into Galilee unto the mountain where Jesus had appointed them. And seeing him, they adored, but some doubted. And Jesus coming spoke to them, saying, All power is given to me in heaven and in earth. Going therefore, teach ye all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and behold, I am with you all days, even to the consummation of the world. Does it say some people? Does it say, well, the Catechism of Zion that I belong to, when I said we love Jesus? But I don't think that we were ever told to go out and tell everyone about Jesus. But you want me to read it to you again, Ted? Well, that's from your screwy Catholic Bible, Michael. The New American Translation, which is 2,000 years after the fact, is the one that gets it. You need to be reading the Schofield Bible, Mr. Church. No, I think I'm pretty much going to stay away from that heretical work. Maggie says we have a phone call. Let's try this. This is Ira in Maryland. Ira, first up today, Free Phone Friday, Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I am well, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, I was just calling because one, it's Free Phone Friday, and two, one of your earlier segments, you were talking about the documentary where the guy was an atheist and then found his way to Christ.
Vogel, right?
It was called. Yes. I remember it was called A Case for Christ. I actually watched it on the Netflix documentary.
Oh, okay. So the movie was called. He made a second one, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I remember the one thing that struck me the most about that whole process where he was, doing his investigative work. It's something else that, struck me deeply. That I think his wife was actually quietly praying for him the whole time.
She was.
Fine, yeah. And it was, it's one of those things where it always stuck with me in regards to just the power of prayer. I've actually been listening to you for a long time, back in the old country days.
Old station, old country?
Yes, sir. And it's one of those things where I hear you talk about it all the time, and I just felt led to call in to let you know that I actually am on the path to conversion. Hopefully, Lord willing, this Easter Vigil, I'll complete the process. But you had a very big influence in that process for me, and it's always a funny story for me to think about it, because I remember the first time I started listening to you on my way to work, and again, back in the old country, you used to have this challenge where you said, give me 7 days to make an argument. It was about secession at the time. And coming from my military background, I thought you were nuts, personally.
Well, actually,
I gave you 7 days.
Give me 8 weeks of daily doses of the Founding Fathers' red pill to unplug the matrix cable from the 7 days, 8 weeks, same thing. Now, Ira, you say you're ex-military. What is your military mind telling you about what military guys are saying about this?
It's interesting. So it's a mixed bag. It really is. When I talk to some of my former colleagues, I'm not in anymore. So I got out. I retired several years ago.
Okay.
But some of my background was usually behind closed doors. I don't want to get too much into it, but I guess the general feeling is that there is kind of a sense of, and I can't really speak for everybody, just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, what is the end state? I did 2 tours over in Iraq, years ago. And one of the things that I came to realize when I was out there, when you get involved in these different types of conflicts, if you don't have a clear strategy on, what does victory look like,
right?
Again, you just spin into nothingness. And there's a part of me that I'm genuinely concerned about what's going on overseas in terms of, one, what does victory look like, and two, are we actually on the right side of biblical teachings?
Well, there's no doubt in my mind, if you want my 13 cents, there's no doubt in my mind that this action is unjust. And we'll all pray for Ira to come into the church this Easter Vigil. It's one of the things that the church doesn't do a good job of teaching anymore, which is just war. And it used to be taught at all the war colleges. And it was pretty much, it was right out of Augustine. But Robert E. Lee taught just war theory at West Point. Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson taught just war theory at West Point. And there wasn't hardly an American commander that didn't. Ira, I am so glad you called. God bless you, brother, in your path to conversion. Will you let us know that you actually made it in?
Yeah, I'll definitely be a regular caller, and I had to get past my nervousness.
You did great.
In, but, yeah.
We're up against the clock. Ira, thank you. God bless you, brother. Thank you. I like that.
It's a good old-fashioned party line, white picket fence, chap and gadfest that we call the Midday Show. With your hostess from across the pond, Fiorella De Maria. Exclusively here on the Crusade Channel. Live talk and chat radio the way it should be.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
Richard Henry Lee rises to be recognized and begins to list what will become known as the Lee Resolutions, the actual first pronouncement of America's independence. Resolved that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states.
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
Broadcasting 50,000 kilowatts from atop the tallest radio tower on the planet. We are KRSD, the Crusade Channel, Madisonville.
Well, it's what our call letters would be if we were on FM.
Crusade Channel News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different. Like a symphony of facts.
And now, from the Crusade Channel News Desk, here's Janet Huxley.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Welcome to Friday, March 13th, 2026. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk, live from the ranch in Kansas City. This report brought to you by the all-new Mike Church Show website and Dude Nation membership service. Check it out today at the allnewmikechurch.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. U.S. military aircraft lost in Iraq. A suspect in custody after 3 women found dead at multiple locations in Utah tourist area. ISIS supporting Old Dominion University shooter shouted Allahu Akbar before killing spree, while Michigan potential car bomber plows into synagogue. U.S. Army offers up to a $5,000 reward for drones apparently stolen, and Dr. Oz goes on the record against Obamacare. A U.S. aircraft has been reportedly lost in Iraq during ongoing military operations against Iran, U.S. Central Command announced yesterday. According to CENTCOM, the incident involved 2 U.S. KC-135 refueling aircraft operating in friendly airspace. One of the aircraft went down in western Iraq, while the second landed safely. CENTCOM said the loss was not the result of hostile fire or friendly fire. Rescue efforts were underway last night. Officials have not yet released details about the number or condition of personnel involved. An armed potential car bomber plowed a vehicle full of explosives into the preschool entrance of a synagogue in Michigan and barreled down a hallway before security opened fire, killing the suspect. The attack unfolded at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield just before 1 o'clock yesterday. Security fired shots to stop him, and all students and staff were evacuated to safety. Meanwhile, ISIS supporting ex-National Guard member Mohammed Baylor Jallow shouted Allahu Akbar before launching his deadly attack at Old Dominion University yesterday. The 36-year-old busted into an ROTC classroom at the Virginia College, yelling the Arabic phrase, and then opened fire, killing a retired military officer and injuring 2 others. A suspect is in custody after 3 women were found dead at multiple locations, prompting a shelter-in-place warning in southern Utah. The bodies of the 3 women were found within Wayne County, which encompasses the popular tourist destination Torrey, on March the 4th. In a statement posted to social media, the Sevier County Sheriff's Office confirmed a suspect in the Wayne County homicides was captured early this morning. That was Thursday morning. The suspect, later identified as 22-year-old Ivan Miller of Blakesburg, Iowa. Our quote of the day: nothing seems tiresome or painful when you're working for a master who pays well, who rewards even a cup of cold water given for love of him. St. Dominic Savio. Up next, a look at more of today's headlines. You're listening to The Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
This is a pixel. I'm Groot. Now, if you put a couple of million of these guys together, you can make a sentence on an LED screen. Put a couple of billion of them together, and you can make a whole page. Put 360 billion of them, and you got Chesterton's book, Orthodoxy. But it doesn't smell like a book, and it burns teeny little holes in your cornea. So is the pixel really your friend? I'm Groot. No, but the Founders Trading Post is your friend, and we have actual books with actual smelly pages. Plus, our little bookstore has everything you'd expect. I'm Groot. Yes, Groot, to the gourmet coffee, but no to the One Tree Hill sappy guitar music.
Pick up a copy of G.K. Chesterton's Orthodoxy, plus many other Chesterton titles at shop.mychurch.com.
You can learn all about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast at crusadechannel.com. Now more of today's lifestyle headlines. Dr. Oz has a problem with Obamacare. The head of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, said that enrollment for Obamacare programs may be too high and signaled that some people should not be enrolled. During an interview with NBC News published on Monday, Dr. Oz said some people on affordable care or Obamacare plans shouldn't be enrolled in the program. Some people are enrolled in the ACA through either fraud or via a mistake in the sign-up process. And some may have chosen an ACA plan rather than sign up for Medicaid or receive health insurance coverage through their job. Either their income would not qualify them, they made too much or made too little, or they didn't file the forms, maybe on purpose, or they were duplicately enrolled in Medicaid or likely the other states. He said there are major concerns for us. The CMS said in a statement in early 2025 that around 4 million to 5 million people were enrolled with taxpayer-subsidized ACA coverage in an improper manner in 2024, costing as much as $20 billion. Nearly every part of the United States is going to get walloped by wild weather or just about to be. Days of downpours have begun in Hawaii. The Southwest will soon bake with day after day of record 100-degree-plus heat. 2 storms will dump snow by the foot over northern Great Lakes states, and the dreaded polar vortex will again invade the Midwest and East with soul-crushing Arctic chill. The forecast for extremes comes as weather whiplash already hit much of the East. On Wednesday, Washington, D.C. residents walked around in shorts in record-breaking 86-degree Fahrenheit weather. On Thursday, it snowed. All of the country, even if they're not necessarily seeing extremes, are going to see generally changing from cold to warm or warm to cold, said meteorologist Mark Chennard of the National Weather Service's Weather Prediction Center in Maryland. A heat dome will form early next week and park over the southwest, baking temperatures to triple digits that haven't been seen since early in the year, Maw and Chennard said. I'm Magdalene Rose for the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
Time. I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
So let's go back. Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Wait a minute, what's this headline? U.S. reels from attacks as Dems refuse to fund DHS. Yeah, DHS was not going to stop an attack. DHS has never stopped an attack. DHS operates after the fact. And he goes, oh, this guy wasn't on our radar. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Mike Church Show on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network on a Free Phone Friday. And you all know what that means.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday. It's Free Phone.
U.S. on Edge.
It's Free Phone.
Yes, it is. A Free Phone Friday. Hey, there you are charged with the task, telling us what it is we shall talk about here on the program. Telephone number to take me up on this kind, benevolent, beneficent offer to use these radio airwaves. Call me sometime when you have no class. 844-527-8723. 844-5-Crusade. This portion of the program brought to you by the Dude number. Last chance, folks. This weekend will be your last chance. Dude numbers go on sale on Monday. Anyone that wants one can join the elite group of Mike Church Show Ethics and Broadcasting Network fans and show their red, white, and Dude Nation pride. No, not like that pride. With your Dude Number T-shirt and your number proudly displayed on the front left chest with the big, beautiful print on the back. You get a certificate of authenticity and all that stuff that goes along. We had 8,700 and change Dude numbers from 2008 to 2015. And you're all welcome to become Dude numbers now. And then I will start opening the show on Monday with now serving Dude number, I should make a gag out of it. Now serving Dude number 13. To force Shuffle 13's hand to be the first one in the store to grab 13. You will be able to request a number or just to take the next one that is in succession, which I believe the cart will tell you that is the number. In any event, we were just the change is going to be great for all Crusade Channel fans. That the Mike Church Show is now back on MikeChurch.com. You have the brand new site now. That is podcast.MikeChurch.com. It's the best podcasting site in the business. It's all Mike Church Show all the time. Now, we are going to build some other really cool features and audio stuff in there, but it's just for podcast. You can pause. You can fast forward. You can listen times 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 2. You can make a little playlist by heart favoring your favorite episodes. You can open that playlist up and you can hit shuffle, and it will play those tracks in a random order. You can pause and go away. You can pause, quit the browser, close the window, go, oh no, I was in the middle of TKD's show from the Corona Doom in 2020 and I closed it. No problem, bro. Open the browser back up, find the episode. You don't even have to find the episode. It's in your now brand new, recently played list. How do you like that? So, just go hit your recently played list and go, yeah, but it's not going to start where... Oh, it started where I left off. Yes, it does that automatically. You don't have to do anything other than log in. That's how cool podcast.mikechurch.com is. And lots of new stuff is also going to come to the Crusade Channel.com. Now, you still get Mike Church on the Crusade Channel. Please do not misunderstand. But we are our own entity as we were in 2015. You know what? All throughout 2016 when we started this, because it took a year to launch the first Veritas Radio Network podcast site. So when somebody said, you never did this, you want me to... Not true. Not true. Not true. You got your podcasts, all of them. All those great shows. Reverse Deception and My Story of America and all of them. Got them at MikeChurch.com. Not true. So just returning to our roots and inviting all of you, especially those of you with small businesses, you're a small entrepreneur, join us. I am so happy that so many men have reacted so positively to proselytize. And we sold a bunch of ties this week. People went and looked at the Catholic-themed ties. And a lot of ties flying out of the store. That's a great sign. Get you one today. The official necktie of the Mike Church Show with our friends at Proselytize. So anyway, shop in the store this weekend. I'm going to... There's your shipping is free for $60 or more. Maggie's got new rosaries in there. We have so much new stuff. Great business books like Good to Great, The Flywheel Effect, and E.F. Schumacher's Small is Beautiful. So much great stuff. And don't forget your seasonings, your Beast and Butt Rub. All that in the brand new Dude Gear store at shop.mikechurch.com. All right. You know what I wanted to do? Hold on, because I like to see what other people have to say. Hold on. Let me hit refresh and see if this is the latest. I wanted to see what someone at the Federalist might be saying about what we have been talking about today. No, it hasn't hit any of them yet. Last thing I see is Trump needs to prepare Americans for what comes next in Iran. Well, John Daniel and I love you. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in 2 weeks in Scottsdale. But I don't think Trump knows what comes next in Iran. Because I don't think that this is going to turn out the way that any of these clowns think that it's going to turn out.
It never does.
You know, there have been men and countries and nations and armies that have tried to remove Persia from the face of the earth since 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago. You know, it's kind of interesting if you look at a map of the world, which is hard to do these days. Why did Genghis Khan, why did the Mongolians pass Persia up and instead try and take Italy, Rome? Anyone want to tackle that question? Because, you know, it was one of the Gregories, right? Wasn't it? Was it Gregory the Great? I think it was one of the Gregories that crossed the bridge and went on the other side to the Mongol leader and said, dude, I'm paraphrasing. I'm commanding you. Christ sent me here. Don't go cross this bridge and don't come over here and ransack Rome and kill these people. Meet with me. Let's talk this out. And I'm pretty sure that that's what happened, and the Mongols didn't. But why did they pass Persia up? If you were just looking for treasure, Persia is one of the wealthiest countries in antiquity. Persia was the envy of the Mesopotamian world, if you will. Watch Gerard Butler's movie 300. Remember that? Remember, come and get them. When Xerxes the First says, "Lay your weapons down and we will not be harmed," and the Spartans go, and they get into their phalanx, and Gerard Butler says, "Come and get them." Pretty much what we are telling Pastor Doug Wilson, who has proclaimed a fatwa, a fake religion that is this ersatz Catholicism called Protestantism now being practiced in these United States, with all these Zionistic warriors out now wanting to go shed their blood for Israel and supposedly for Christ the King, even though Ted Cruz tells, hey, you're using Christ the King in the wrong way. Pretty much saying that, well, you know what, we played this in the first segment. I think you need to play this again, Maggie. This is one of these clips that you just need to keep in the rotation so I can remind people to go like, what are you talking about?
Which clip?
The one with Pastor Wilson.
Oh.
Marian processions, yeah, no, let me just tell you, no, that's not going to happen. Eucharistic processions, no, that's an idolatry. The Eucharist is idolatrous? Strange Bibles are popping up all over the place, and they're not even catechisms, strange urban legends. Jesus now seems to me to be an urban legend amongst these people.
Let me give you a couple of very practical examples. Okay. Could Muslims be here? Live? Yes, they could be. Could they hold political office? No. Could Muslims gather together with their Muslim family and friends to pray to Allah? Yes. Right? Could you have a mosque? Yes. Could they have a minaret, a prayer tower that issues a public call to prayer? No. Because the public spaces belong to Christ. Right? We're a Christian nation. So church bells are okay. Church bells are okay, but a Muslim call to prayer in the public space would not be okay. Catholic church bells would be okay, right? Catholic church bells would be okay, but
thank you for your permission.
A parade in honor of the Virgin Mary, carrying an image of the Virgin Mary down Main Street, no, right? So
what about the Eucharist?
That's the Blessed Virgin Mary, pal.
Procession.
That's a new one. I would say probably not. It would depend on what was being done around it, how it was being conducted. But basically, public displays of idolatry, what the Protestant foundation of the law would consider to be idolatry, would not be allowed. So you wouldn't have a Hindu procession with a Hindu god. You wouldn't have a procession of the Virgin Mary.
Come and take her. Try. Go ahead. Come and take her. You know, I'm hearing this clown speak about this with this fake religion and this fake theology that he's just making up as he goes along. The idolatry is real, you Catholics. We do not worship statues. You're a liar. You are suffering from Catholic derangement syndrome. That is not what happens. So I gave Maggie a picture because she and I participated in, over the years, dozens and dozens of Marian processions. Hope to do one again very soon. But I gave her a picture of us in procession in August heat in downtown New Orleans with our beloved brothers from the TFP in August of 2019. And you know what the occasion was? The occasion was the satanic mass people were having a convention, the Hegseth. The Hegseth was in a hotel in New Orleans that used to be a monastery on, what is that? That's not Toulouse. What is that street? It's not Chartres. I'll think of it in a minute. It's in the quarters, right behind, if you're at the back of St. Louis Cathedral, it's that street, whatever that street is right there. And they were desecrating those once holy rooms, and they did it intentionally. And so the TFP suggested that we go pray a rosary of reparation for what they were doing in there and once hallowed ground, 'cause it's always hallowed ground, and we did. And then we processed to the statue of St. Joan d'Arc on Decatur Street. And guess what we carried with us? We carried a statue, a beautiful one, of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the apparition at Fatima. And so I told Maggie, I said, take that and post it anywhere you want and tell Pastor Wilson to come and get her. Go ahead. Come and take her. You know, some of us have just had enough of this. I don't go into your Protestant enclaves and tell you that you're a bunch of heretics and that you need to lay down your heretical arms and join us. Okay? We don't convert by the sword like Muslims. Now, if you want to make things legal and illegal and legal and or illicit and illicit, I am all for it. But it's going to be the social kingship of our Lord Jesus Christ, which Pastor Ted Cruz told us is a no-go. That's a non-starter. And look, and we don't want any theology, Pastor Wilson, that aspires for the conversion of pagans and Satanists to the faith, because that's not, according to Ted Cruz, that's not why Jesus came into this world. He came in so that the Jews could get the Romans to kill him. And again, we should all send Jews thank you cards on Resurrection Sunday, I guess. Thank you so much for having the Romans execute our Savior so you could be saved. So some of us have just had enough of this anti-Catholic bigotry, you know, and we're just not going to take it anymore. We're not going to sit here and go like, oh, let's turn the other cheek. Oh, let's not. No, we're not turning the other cheek. I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. The Blessed Virgin Mary is in the Gospels. She's at the Annunciation. She's prophesied about in the Old Testament. And a virgin shall bring forth a child. Well, it would seem to me if there is a virgin and that she is without original sin, that's why we have the dogma of the Immaculate Conception, it would seem to me then, and also, did Mary carry Jesus around in her womb? So, well, are you going to call St. Elizabeth a liar now? In the gospel? And blessed is the fruit of thy womb. That's a saint, St. Elizabeth. That's Zachariah's wife. That's the mother of St. John the Baptist. Is she wrong? She says, blessed is the fruit of thy womb. The woman in the square who tells our Lord, blessed is the womb that bore thee and the paps that gave thee suck. And our Lord says in last Sunday's gospel, what does he say? He said, no, blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. Well, the word of God is telling you, and all Christians throughout all time believe this. This is nonsense. Nonsense. That somehow in the 15th century, Catholics decided that they were going to start poking Protestants with images and with devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary. Hey, Elrod, St. Dominic gave us the rosary in the 12th century. That's in the 1100s. The Sub Tuum prayer dates back to 265 AD. You know what that is? And it's in writing. It's in writing. What is it? It is a Marian devotion. It's calling on the Mother of God for her protection. Written by a then Christian, as you call them, Catholic. So some of us have had enough of this, and we all have had enough of this hating on Our Lady. What did she ever do to you? She takes away from Jesus. No, she doesn't. She sends you to Jesus. And there's just been enough of this mealy-mouthed crap from American Catholics for too long. Where's Father Peyton at when we need him? Who's Father Peyton? Where are you turning it into theocracy? I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm turning it into a crusade for the truth. Ted Cruz can go and preach. I can preach. Pastor Wilson can go and preach. I can preach. Pete Hegseth can claim this war is in the name and for God. Well, then I can preach and say, no, it's not. And some of us just had enough of this. And again, we understand evangelicals and Protestants and all of this, and we love them all. As I said, I am happy to practice my Catholicism and pray for the conversion of the United States. I am happy. Now, am I satisfied? Well, no, because I've received an apostolic mission when I was baptized and then confirmed. But am I happy? I'm happy to know you. And I know a lot of Protestants. And look, if you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. If we don't, we don't. Ask Joe Beeman. I will leave it there. Go ask the former evangelical. Just go ask Joe whether or not he was ever browbeaten or yelled at or made to feel like some sort of a lesser sort of a Christian. And if anyone ever counseled the Beemans that, no, you can't go to that evangelical church or do whatever it is that you do anymore. When we Catholics take over, we're going to make that illegal. Now, it is true that error would be made illegal, and you'd call a heretic, and the church would say, yeah, no heresy in the public square. I don't think that's about to happen anytime soon, but that's the way it was in all of Christendom. So if you want to go make fake pronouncements or pronouncements on a theology that, by the way, is very new. This is new. This wasn't handed down from apostles to other Christians who were martyred through the centuries and millennia. It's rather new. Well, we're just going to tell you that. No. Come and take her.
You want your talk radio shaken.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Not stirred.
That's putting it mildly, 007.
Truth never dies on the Crusade Channel. King-sized truth from radio-sized speakers.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Friday, March 13th, 2026. This report is brought to you by the all-new Mike Church Show website and Dude Nation membership service. Check it out today at the all-new MikeChurch.com. In the market report, the Dow fell 1.56% today, and the S&P as well, 1.52%. NASDAQ fell 1.78%. Today is National Dermatologist Day, and it's National Jewel Day, recognizing the makers and jewelers who create the special pieces that take our breath away. It's National Canine Veterans Day. A lot of things changed after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941. We rationed oil, leather, and rubber. Military men were drafted into service, and women rolled up their sleeves and built war supplies, and that is about the time that dogs were called to duty. It's National Open and Umbrella Indoors Day and Coconut Tort Day, and it's National Good Samaritan Day, recognizing unselfish actions of those who provide help when needed. Our quote of the day: nothing seems tiresome or painful when you are working for a master who pays well, who rewards even a cup of cold water given for love of him. St. Dominic Savio. You can learn all about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast at CrusadeChannel.com. You're listening to The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Spirit of 76. The Spirit of 76 details the true story of the writing and ratifying of the U.S. Constitution.
He is to be supported in extravagant magnificence, so that the whole of our property may be taken by this American government by laying what taxes they please, giving themselves what salaries they please, and suspending our laws at their pleasure.
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and is packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Spirit of 76 on a 2-DVD or 3-CD set. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
Yep.
Yep.
So, are we gonna do this regenerative farming thing or what?
Yep.
Who you calling degenerate?
Tommy, that's regenerate.
It means to recycle the earth, not till it to death.
Great, because I'm cycling rounds with Vera till death.
We're gonna starve to death, y'all.
Don't be a Tommy. Stock up on regenerative farming books and books to farm by in the Founders Trading Post. Books by Father Dennis Fahey, Father Vincent McNabb, Hilary Belloc, and many, many more. And remember, these books aren't just how-tos on moving earth, livestock, and sowing seeds. These books teach the family economy that flourishes on the small family farm, homestead, and yep, even suburban development. So start your collection and start your learning and change your family life for the better today. All books available at mikechurch.com/farm.
Hey, Rick, this row needs another pass. Where's the regenerate switch on this shovel?
It's the I Love Lee Show, starring Lee, with special guest Jim.
Come on, dude, pick up.
Jim's Bait Shop.
Very boomer funny of you.
Yeah, I thought so too. What's up?
What was the name of the live talk radio thingy? You know, that show with the holy guy you were telling me about?
Talk radio, holy guy. I'm sure I have no idea.
Yeah, the guy's name rhymed with Lurch. He was talking about being holy or something.
Talking about... Oh, you mean Mike Church. He's not trying to be holy.
Yeah, he's also not trying to fake being holy. Anyway, I just came from the Lila Rose 2-for-1 podcast promotion, and I didn't make a dent in one, much less get two, and I need something cool to listen to on the 6-hour drive I have coming up.
Well, the KingDude's got you covered there.
So, you got the deets?
No, but my dad had shingles.
Ugh, you're such a boomer! Deets, as in details, as in where and when do I find this guy?
I'm not a boomer, and his podcast is hiding in plain sight at this thing called a website at CrusadeChannel.com.
Why can't he just have a QR code?
Yeah. Want me to come over there and type that in for you, Zoomer?
The Crusade Channel 4.0, one of life's simple pleasures.
Yeah, like hearing a tree beginning its journey to the paper mill.
Like paper over plastic, some things like the Crusade Channel.
And good old-fashioned live talk radio.
Never go out of style at CrusadeChannel.com.
Speaking of out of style, Jim, we need to talk about your hair.
What's the matter with my hair?
The 80s hair metal band's called, and they want their style back.
Really?
Everybody loves a good trilogy. The Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and now the KingDude Seasoning Trilogy. There's Beast and Butt Rub, Acadiana Steak, and the brand new Chicken Mamu Seasoning, a lemon herb-based rub that's won trophies in barbecue chicken cook-offs. Now, we've bundled all 3 spices together, and you can get them for one low price for less than it costs to rent a movie trilogy. And the KingDude offers you his personal money-back guarantee of your taste buds' complete satisfaction. Order a KingDude Seasoning Trilogy today at shop.mikechurch.com.
Hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks, just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there, you didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
The Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Too much heaven. No jive talking spoken here. If you're sad, I can tell you how to mend a broken heart. It's a great day to love somebody. Friday during Lent. Oh, you should see the looks. And we have been recounting all day here how now it's official that the persecution of Emperor Giuliani has begun. Emperor Giuliani, the apostate, has begun. The high priest of all influencers are out there. Interestingly enough, why is Ben Shapiro picking now on Megyn Kelly? Megyn Kelly's not in our Catholic brigade. She's not, to my knowledge. If she is, she's not out and about it.
She is. She needs to be spoken to.
But she is most certainly anti-wars for fake religions that are heresies called Zionism. So we have that. Now, who's on hold? You never told me. Oh. If you didn't hear the Netanyahu clips earlier, they're in the transcript for the program. I have a Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson are lying. I started criticizing Tucker for the economic book back in 2009.
You don't have to play.
I'm not playing it. I refuse. I will not disgrace the ethics in broadcasting airwaves with that. But you know what? You want just for comedic, Zionistic relief here? for the okay. Senator Graham and Senator Cruz now answer to Emperor Julianahu. Number 7, they now answered to the Emperor Julianahu and are now disciples out there of the new religion, the official religion now of the United States. I haven't even gotten into, but I want you to hear Lindsey Graham. I haven't even gotten into what they did to Carrie Prejan Bowler. Trump did this to her. He allowed, and you can read in her letter, she's just wounded. She can't believe that the Zionists have taken over Trump administration. Now, some people are telling me, no, dude, this was always baked. This is baked into the cake. And you should have known this 3 years ago. How should I have known this? Well, there was this. Well, dude, we're talking about American politics. There's almost no one that survives the taint of AIPAC and of Mossad influencers. Anyway, here you have to hear this. Lindsey, the senator from Tel Aviv, I'm sorry.
During World War II, did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city into smithereens?
Yes.
So this is a war. No,
October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people. What happened on October 7th?
Stop the tape. There are no Jews anywhere outside of Tel Aviv? What is it? What is going on here? My son-in-law is a Jew. He lives in New York. This is an absolutely threat against the Jewish people. Some Jewish people. You don't even want to get into the play the rest of it. I have to hear the rest of this catechism, the new official religion of the Trump administration, Zionism. Give me some more Trump catechism.
October the 7th was 1,200 people were slaughtered, raped, and murdered and filmed by radical Islamists who would kill every Jew if they could, to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
survival. And then
they
flattened Gaza.
Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we?
Yes.
So my view.
I'll interview you. I'll tell you yes.
I would have probably done it the same way. Without military victory, there is no hope of breaking radicalism. We flattened.
There's
Germany.
conversion.
We flattened Japan.
How many Americans
Wait a
believe
minute.
this?
Out of that,
the way that how many Americans think the way that you do?
I think most Republicans think the way I do.
I don't.
Even young ones.
You're just out of touch if you don't understand Republicans.
Magdalene, you're a young Republican. Do you think like that?
I do not.
Do you know any? Well, I'm sure you do know people who think like that. Are they a majority of young people?
No.
These, it's ramped up. The assault on Carrie Prejan Bowler is just stunning to me. The fact that, and I did not know her very warm, loving, daddy-like relationship with President Trump, and then Trump allowed Dan Patrick and this other witch to kick her out of the Religious Liberty Commission, try and then go on social media and destroy the, she wrote in a letter, I don't know if you read the letter, she wrote in a letter, they told her, you can't go on social media, and you're not allowed to say that, you're not allowed to use the word Zionism and be a part, and she goes, excuse me? I didn't sign up in this commission to trade away my right to free speech and to defend the Catholic faith. I most certainly will use the word Zionism. What in the hell is going on here? Apparently, I guess they were always there from the get-go. Apparently, the Zionists have been in control because she references all the way back to May of 2025 is when Patrick and the other woman came to her and told her, you can't, he appointed you, but you got to shut up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw the Doug Wilson clip that Pete Hegseth, he had him there to talk, and this is somebody who wants to ban masses. He is a Puritan in every way. He views Catholicism as witchcraft. And this is sort of the sentiment of they're going to either be very Zionist or very anti-Catholic. And you know how I always say, we weren't really allowed into conservatism unless somebody needed a Supreme Court justice. Then it was like, we need a Catholic in here, we need someone who understands things like that. There is a level of anti-Catholic behavior that goes on in this administration, and we don't talk about it a lot because there's a lot of other things going on, but it is growing. And I think that Catholics they're double damned in this because it's growing from the Puritan side, people like Doug Wilson, who Pete Hegseth had to do prayer, and also Catholics who will criticize Israel. So I don't understand an administration with so many powerful Catholic leaders why we see this trend happening.
Carrie Prejan, I'm just reading through the letter now because I want to make sure I get this right, says in her letter to Trump, or her open letter to Trump, okay, starting on page 2, she basically gives him the correct theology. She tells him why your Zionism and why your administration is wrong. And then she said, anti-Semitism cannot be used as a shield to silence speech. This is a dangerous threat to our First Amendment rights as Americans. My faith has always been central to who I am. You stood by me in 2009 when I lost my title as Miss California after publicly standing for my Christian beliefs. She was asked about homos, and they took her crown because she didn't answer in the correct way. By the way, she gave an answer that Megyn Kelly might give, but Ben Shapiro never would. Ask Denise McAllister about that. Okay. I was only 21 years old when I gave that speech with you standing next to me. I shared in my speech something my grandfather's always told me. You're an American, Carrie. I fought for your freedoms. Don't you ever let anyone take them away from you. My deeply held religious beliefs define who I am and who I have always been, which is why I will not allow my religious freedom to be taken from me. You knew exactly who I was when you appointed me. I may not have a prestigious title or a large organization behind my name, but I have a conviction, heart, and an unwavering commitment to the Christian principles I stand for. Now, she's talking about Catholicism, obviously. Okay? And then she says, I stood on the commission stage with some of the most well-respected people in America. What I realized is that many of them are too afraid to speak out and be labeled an anti-Semite simply for not supporting the political state of Israel. None of them were willing to speak up and defend my religious freedom to not support a political ideology and false theology. But the Lord knew why he put me on that stage once again to stand for him, and even if it means standing alone. I'll never forget when Paula White and Dan Patrick told me I was not allowed to post on social media or speak in interviews about Israel and Gaza. He told me I had to stay off social media, and my job on this commission is to protect the president. I disagree. My job on this commission is to protect religious freedom. Who is Dan Patrick, and who is Paula White?
Well, first of all, her job is not to protect the president. Whose job it is to protect the president? Stephen Miller, Susie Wiles. Those people, I would say their job is to protect the president. Well, Paula White is the head of his, religious freedom group. I mean, Paula White is somebody who is so antithesis of my church. I mean, it's almost comical.
She's that evangelical lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who she is.
Yeah,
yes, I said evangelical lunatic. Yes, I did.
Like she is so the other side of Mike's church. It's almost funny. And she has run all of Trump's religious liberty things with a very serious iron fist. She worked with the Republican women's groups. And this is not surprising to me because she, in the first term, was very involved as well. And she would quiet people on the Republican women's side who were talking out, who were being loud about things she didn't like. She's not a neutral person, and Trump loves her. If there's a religious figure, a living religious figure Trump loves, it's Paula White.
Yeah, and we all were like, why? Why? You had Justice Scalia's son, Father Scalia, come to the White House and exercise it in your first term. Couldn't you pick Father Paul Scalia? And then Carrie Prejan Bowler. Now, it said this this is page 4 of the letter. Those questions I asked came from a real concern for defining the definition of anti-Semitism, as well as my Catholic religious beliefs. Also, my deep concern for the dignity of innocent human life being killed in Gaza. Now, you just heard Lindsey Graham say, yeah, we killed all those people and helped kill all those people in Gaza. We had to do it, and we're proud of it. An American statesman is now on record as saying, we carpet bombed Dresden and Berlin and killed hundreds of or tens of thousands of German citizens who were not active, who were not combatants, who didn't even have arms, and they deserved it. We vaporized 77,000 souls in an instant in Hiroshima, and then 110,000 in Nagasaki, and the Japanese deserved it, and we're proud of it. Now, we murdered and we aided and assisted. This is news. We aided and assisted in killing the citizens of Gaza because it had to be done, not for us, but for the state of Israel. And we're proud about it. And all Republicans, this is Republican dogma. This is Republican theology here. Well, you can count me out. And I know that I am not alone.
No, and I don't understand why Lindsey Graham is always on television. Like, it's very strange to me that in an administration that got into the White House by putting together an Avengers of different ideologies and conservative ideologies, Lindsey Graham is the main mouthpiece for a war nobody wants. Well, that's not surprising to me. The fact that Lindsey Graham is in this orbit is. And Lindsey Graham is such a weird figure because do I think he's very effective in the Senate when he wants to be? Absolutely. Should he ever be alone with Donald Trump? No. No, he should never be alone because Lindsey Graham feeds into the worst part of Donald Trump, which is the part like, let's bomb him, let's destroy him, I want to rip it up. He rewards that part of Trump. I think a lot of this is also the fault of libertarians because libertarians, I've said this to them for years, you have to get somebody who Trump really likes, who he respects into his orbit. You have to get somebody who's not interventionist, who's not, pro-choice, somebody Trump can hang out with because you keep losing influence and then you get a little bit of it and you're upset because you didn't do one thing or another. If libertarians had a guy on the inside, Charlie Kirk dying would not have equaled war with Iran.
Well, and then Carrie Prejan Bowler in her open letter to President Trump says, for nearly 20 years, I have stood by you. Now, one of the things that I have always admired about President Trump, and now I feel like a fool. I feel like a fool. I'm a Barbra Streisand song. What kind of fool? Me. I feel like a fool. Because I thought that loyalty was one of the things he treasured in people. Apparently not anymore. Not with Julian Yahoo, Emperor Julian Yahoo, the apostate, now effectively running the Trump administration. And I wonder for how long Trump is going to let Julian Yahoo run around and say that Israel is now a new world and global superpower. Keep an eye on that. You want to piss the Don off? Try and get in his orbit and claim you're equal. For nearly 20 years, I have stood by you, she wrote. I attended both of your inaugurations. I went to your rallies. I defended you publicly when it was not popular to do so. I stood by you when you were called every name imaginable. I defended you against the never-Trumpers you surround yourself with today. This is another thing. Why? I wore the red MAGA hat proudly when it was not popular or even safe to do so because I believed in you and what you were fighting for. Now I don't even recognize you. At the February hearing, I was accused of hijacking the proceedings with my own political agenda. The truth is that a political and theological agenda hijacked what was supposed to be an American religious liberty hearing. I did exactly what commissioners are supposed to do. I asked questions. I asked for the definition of anti-Semitism, which I was shocked to hear the witnesses say that not supporting a political ideology is considered hatred of Jewish people. This is obviously absurd and something I pushed back on. The questions came from Catholic teaching and my deep concern for the dignity of innocent human life in Gaza. Innocent Palestinians who have been starved, gunned down, bombed, limbs blown off, children orphaned, all with the support of our own government. No, according to Lindsey Graham, with the assistance now of our government. Asking me to deny that Catholic teaching in order to satisfy a political ideology is itself a violation of my religious freedom. Whether I serve on this commission or not, My voice will only grow louder for those who are persecuted for their faith. I believe this appointment was ordained by God, and I will not abandon my Catholic faith to keep a position on a commission which has abandoned its mission. If my religious freedom is not protected, then no one's is. We the people must take our country back. We will never stop fighting for America. And then she says all that. And then she quotes the Pope. She quotes the Pope to him. As Pope Leo XIII warned, quote, to recoil before an enemy or to keep silence when from all sides such clamor is raised against truth is the part of a coward. Christ will certainly not recognize such men as his followers. Your eternal legacy is dependent on you entering the kingdom of heaven, and I sure hope that one day I will see you there. And then she ends at Magdalene, right at Ted Cruz. Christ is king. Sincerely, Carrie Prejan Bowler, an American woman, not an American man, an American woman, has now become the face of traditional and, let's just say, faithful Catholicism and Catholics. And she's a beauty queen. Easy on the eyes. This is simply a stunning turnaround. This is a view from inside the beast. We now have witnesses here that are telling us that the White House is crawling with Zionist, warmongering neocon or demonocon wackos, as I changed their name from Decepticons to demonocons. And then I don't even know, is Trump even in charge anymore? All of it, and then all of the influencers on the X platform, almost all in unison, all turned into vampires overnight, seeking what Catholics they could to destroy. Shapiro's army of them. I mean, this is a full-on assault, folks. This is not a warm-up. This is like COVID. They intend to make the Republican Party the party of Zion. This is a takeover. If you're in the Republican Party and you don't go along, pray they don't start putting laws on the side or tell Pam Bondi, look, you passed that resolution against anti-Semitism, start enforcing it. So the persecution of Catholics and a white martyrdom has actually begun, and it's begun by the Trump administration, and this is war.
Well, it is war, and you talk about who's around President Trump. Do you know that Michael Cohen is now going on conservative podcasts to sort of relaunch his career, and Trump is open to talking to him? This is the kind of situation that's happening. This, to me, reeks of Trump's main gatekeepers no longer being there. And I don't know if that's because Stephen Miller has fallen out of favor or if because Susie Wiles has taken over so much, but something has pivoted. And I feel bad for Caroline Leavitt because she gets up there and she does her best when people ask her real questions about this, and she has no answers about this war, about anything. I'm just suspicious at a time when Lindsey Graham is in the Oval with Mark Levin and Michael Cohen's hanging out with Laura Trump and getting invited to Mar-a-Lago. Like, what happened? How did this shift? And I can't believe it's all Kirk, but I wonder if Kirk had people in that White House orbit who were paying attention and telling him what was going on, and he was running like a shadow chief of staff program. And with him gone, that's all fallen away.
Now, I want to tell you, before the program runs out, and we move the end date of the show up here, target is 9. I don't think we'll hit it exactly, but I just want to tell you, a loyal listener wrote to me this morning to write to you. This is for you. You ready?
Yep.
Look, TKD, I'm inside the machine, and everything pointed. He's talking about Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, the assassination. Look, TKD, I'm inside the machine, and everything pointed to PRC, People's Republic of China, with a hard pivot away from Russia, right up until about a month ago, and everything pointed to the Middle East, out of nowhere. And then everything, in other words, there was a pivot. You have to look back in time to put up the trail, to pick up the trail breadcrumbs. Charlie looks like a half a loaf of bread if Magdalene Rose is correct. Everything is still pointing to the PRC. But now Iran is rapidly turning into a major roadblock. Trump is finding out you just can't start a war between Israel and Iran and let it end. Russia is going to use this as a proxy war to fight the U.S. in retribution for UKR financing, that's Ukraine. But Russia, unlike Iran and Israel, are the only rational side in this. They are eminent practical and have shown amazing restraint with U.S. because they aren't flipping insane. They could be Trump's greatest ally in an outcome that he still wants, and I think that is what sober Trump, because the reality of the Iran war may be starting to scare the crap out of POTUS and Putin. Might be the one of the only people he's even allowed to talk to when he wants that, and tell Trump the truth. Can you imagine this? Vladimir Putin is now Charlie Kirk, basically. We got a Zionist for an Israel ambassador, and at the DOW, that's no accident. I don't think Trump is a Zionist, but he looks as malleable and controllable as he did in his first term now. Among Trump's donors during his legal defense funding, Isaac Paramiller and Laura Paramiller, more than $10 million in 2024, cycled to Right for America, and then he lists some other ones, the Adelsons, obviously, Paulson. Is that enough to purchase Trump? Probably not, but I bet it's enough to put the right pieces in place to execute a Mossad operation that is capable of using Charlie Kirk to start a war in Iran and adjust the plan if that doesn't work out. There is plan A, then there's plan B, and then there's plan C, and who was behind the lawfare against Trump? Sure, it was Democrats, but was it just Democrats? I don't know what you mean by that, and he says he doesn't know. Food for thought from someone who is in this man's army, who was writing to me going like, okay, well, dude, I got a little bit of inside intel because I'm actually in the beast. Is your theory about Charlie Kirk correct? Well, according to this guy, it certainly is plausible.
Yeah. I think there's a very big shift. And it's interesting. I used to tell people that Charlie Kirk was like running the Republican Party. And they used to say, that's not true. He's just a youth organizer. And I'd be like, he's like the king of the Republican Party. And I would be looked at like I was crazy. And I'd be like, he's a warlord. He's terrifying. You don't understand what you're dealing with. And now everyone in hindsight's like, oh, yeah, he is a warlord. He was running it. Yeah, he was. And he assumed power coming from, not coming from a political dynasty or anything like that, just upper middle class people, because he was vicious. And he would cut down people, and I dealt with that. Like, if you disagreed with Charlie Kirk in 2019 to 2022 in the young conservative world, he just blacklisted you. He didn't even care.
Right.
And he had, I believe, a network of people in that White House who were protecting Trump from neocon influence as Charlie Kirk himself became less neocon and became less interventionist. When he was assassinated, those people, maybe they got pulled back, maybe they're still there, but they don't have their leader. Charlie Kirk was a brutal warlord strategist. Him not being there, I genuinely believe, is why we're in war with Iran and why we even took Maduro. Like, looking back on it, why we bombed Nigeria, there were moments that led up to this.
Well, if you think about it, one of the ways that you could solve a crime is, number one, establish a motive, okay? Cui bono, who benefits? Number two, then, okay, since Charlie was assassinated, what has transpired? This has transpired. Mm-hmm. This is a hard pivot towards Bush's third term. And again, it's almost like Dick Cheney is sitting there going, Mr. President, we could bomb them in the Stone Ages. And there doesn't seem that there is no indication from the I wanted to call him Secretary of War, but Secretary of Zion. There's no indication from Secretary of Zion Hegseth today that there's anything but, he goes, we're increasing our bombing rates. They're going up. So you will get to a point then, Mr. Secretary, you will deplete whatever stockpile it is that you have at your disposal. It will happen.
Yeah.
And when the 96 million people of Iran refuse to become democratic and do or whatever it is that you think is going to happen, what then is going to be the choice? And I'm telling you what the choice is. It looks to me, and I have friends that have been telling me, Mike, they're going to nuke the Iranians, man. Well, it looks to me like to get the Iranian, the Ayatollah, to stop being the Ayatollah, that the option is going to be to detonate a thermonuclear device somewhere in Iran. And now the United States has committed the most unjust act the third most unjust act in the history of unjust acts. And the blood is all over Donald John Trump's hands. And is there a way out of this? Well, if my buddy is right, who is not insane in all this? Putin. There's no American. Apparently, we don't have anyone in the United States that can talk him out of it. So is the Russian president going to have to tell me, dude, Mr. President, you're flirting with fire. There is going to be a great war with nuclear device. Russia will not stand on sideline if you let Julian Yahoo, Emperor Julian Yahoo apostate, nuke Iranian people, Russia will have to retaliate. It's over. He has slaughtered his own legacy. There's no chance now because, boasting and bragging about 8,000 now, 9,000 now, 10,000 sites that you have bombed in Iran. Well, I'm pretty sure the Iranian people are going to want to rebuild some of that. And I'm pretty sure also that they have taken massive casualties. You now have an entire new generation of sleeper cell suicide bombers who are going to be on their knees, Sharia law orthodoxes, pleading with the Ayatollah, send me. Send me. So for the pledge of peace and safety, bull. We're going to get the exact opposite now. No, Christy, no. I mean, Mark Wayne Mueller is going to protect us. DHS, and we got Cash Patel. Oh, please, child's play. Oh, child, please. I don't know who's going to get it. I hope it's not someone that I know or that you know, but you can almost just guarantee that that blowback is going to be the result of this. Dude that tried to blow the mosque up is blaming the Israelis, saying that you killed my people in Lebanon. They were in Lebanon. They weren't a threat to you. So is America a safer place? Well, there's at least one dead Lebanese nationalist. At least one cop that was shot at. There's a dead officer now at Old Dominion University in Virginia who was an ROTC trainer, a lieutenant colonel. That man was shot dead yesterday by a lunatic shouting, Allahu Akbar. Now, he was tackled by students. This is true. They took him down, but he went to that place to go kill people. And he went to go do it in the name of Allah. Now, there's a third incident here. And now Fox News wants to know Americans are on edge. Gee, I wonder how that happened. How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, it happened because we have destabilized the entire system of behavior in the United States. And you had mentioned the sleeper cells. There had been discussion of it. It's very clear that that's happening. Like, I don't understand the dancing around it. Well, the dancing around it is because Cash Patel refuses to confirm. But they are originating everywhere. I have a lot of friends and family in New York, and one of the things people don't talk about is the random pro-Middle Eastern, pro-Muslim protests that happen year-round. Those have been happening for the last 2 weeks. It's been going on for quite a while, and it's very frustrating because Republicans are pretending that Americans will feel no fallout of this war except higher gas prices and oil prices. That's not true. That's just a lie. When we have sleeper cells attacking, and even if it's, in the case in Michigan, it was an attack on a synagogue, there are attacks on Americans across the board here. And again, there's no explanation of why we're doing this. Caroline, I don't blame Caroline Leavitt. She is, in the best way, like a mouthpiece of President Trump. She cannot provide an answer. And I think that that's very sad because he's hurting his own young talent by making them go out there with no answer.
And we don't know who. Okay, so at the end of the day, these people, like, if you listen to Ted Cruz, I go like, this, he sounds like a tent revival preacher. When he's giving theology, let me tell you something about, and using Christ as king is just, I hate Jews. I don't know how many there are in the United States, but I'm going to find out. How many schools are named, and churches, or how many churches, Catholic churches, are named Christ the King and then have schools attached to them? No, I know the numbers is in the double digits. It's in the mid to high double digits. Are all of the people that go to those Catholic churches Jew haters? You have a United States senator who sounds more like he is a Tel Aviv senator than he does from the United States. And this guy, now he wants to go on these, and I don't think that the timing of this is, this This is all too coincidental. And I don't believe in coincidences. The timing of Lindsey Graham and now Ted Cruz, I'm wondering who's going to be the next one that's going to give us Zionist theology lessons on the former Christian Broadcasting Network. I thought we were supposed to keep our religion out of our politics. Well, only if you're a Catholic, apparently. So there's a white martyrdom going on. All of the Mossad agents, Lara Loomer, Breedale, and all the rest of them are all now assailing and assaulting anyone that dares to say that Zionism is a heresy and that Carrie Prejan Bowler is a good person and that Christ is king. Which is why I'm going to put it on everything I own. Everything I own, every social media imprint I have is going to say Christ the King. Every single one of them. So, go ahead.
Well, you made a good point. Like, only Catholics must be quiet. Only Catholics must behave. And it's a very strange thing because I thought we were past all of this, but I see it encroaching more and more. And I just don't understand that that's possible with a Catholic vice president, a Catholic Secretary of State, Catholic Transportation Secretary. I mean, I thought we were really, really past this. And I think about also who now has influence. Mark Levin, Lindsey Graham. There are multiple facets to those people coming back in. Yes, pro-war, yes, neocons, but also the anti-Catholic sentiment. So do I think Donald Trump is suddenly now anti-Catholic? No, of course not. But as those bad actors come back in, we lose a lot of things. We lose non-interventionist policies, and now we're losing the strength Catholics have grown within this administration, which we got by being loyal to Trump and being real conservatives. Like, we earned it, and we're losing it. It's very frustrating.
Well, Trump couldn't have been elected had it not been for the Catholic vote. He even said so. And I thank the Catholics. They voted for me in large. You don't win the Catholic vote, you don't win the presidency. It's as simple as that. Michael Davies, the Englishman, came here in 1996 and told Catholics something they didn't want to hear, but he told them anyway. And he said, I should play that clip or that talk of his this Sunday on Sermon Sunday. He said, I don't understand how it is. These are good. You're good Catholics. Why don't you understand? Bill Clinton is an abortionist. All that has to happen to keep Bill Clinton, the abortionist, out of the White House is for the American Catholics to vote against him. That's all that is required, and he loses. You see, and Davey says, as a matter of fact, there is no politician that I am aware of in any state in your United States that could win an election if all the Catholics voted against him. So your abortion problem is a Catholic problem. You know, which at the end of the day, again, and I've been saying this for years, problems with America are Catholic problems that we haven't tackled as Catholics because we want to get along and we want promotions at work. And because you want to get invited to the cool barbecue next door. Maybe the time has come where you just don't give a rat's furry behind about the cool barbecue, the promotion, or whether or not you're going to get X the question. Because I'm telling you, if this keeps up, people are going to start asking and demanding you answer the question. Your HR departments are going to demand your obedience to Zionism. And if you don't offer it, they're going to find a way to get rid of you. And then they're not just going to get rid of you, they're going to destroy you. This is not an effort to get Carrie Prejan Bowler off of that commission, Magdalene. It's an effort to make sure that no Catholic voice is ever heard in it. Because we can't take the heat. We're going to be told that we're heretics and that this is against God's teaching and our Lord's teaching, and we can't have that. We need to feel good about killing people in strange countries we can't point to on a map. And in our fake religion, which is at the end of the day, this is, if people don't want to hear this either. Mike, you can't say that. Yes, I can, and I will. This is Satan worship. No angel, guardian angel, who is whispering in anyone's ear, go become a Zionist. Not one. There's no patron saint of Zionism. Okay? So if someone is whispering in your ears, it's not the Holy Ghost, Pete Hegseth. It's Beelzebub and the boys. It's a horrifying thing to think, dude, if you can do this to people in Iran, and you get up there and you smile and you laugh about it, and then you got Jesse Waters, with Stephen Miller last night. Stephen Miller, tell me how well this thing is going in Iran. I'm going like, did they pay you to say that, or do you really think that, Waters? I lost all respect for anyone that is on that mouthpiece called propaganda outfit now, that Zionist propaganda outfit now called Fox News. None of them have escaped it. I'm just wondering, does Rachel Campos Duffy just keep her mouth shut? Because there's no way. I know those people, they got 9 kids. They're as pro-life and as pro-Catholic on their sleeves as it comes. I cannot fathom, and I bet that the Duffys know Carrie. I bet you they know her. I cannot fathom that the Duffys are in on this or are okay with it. Now, I don't know what Sean could do. Does he stay and try to make a difference and pray? I don't know.
Well, I think that is what he's doing. Like, I think you're right. I think they know her. I think they're horrified, but they also have to think of themselves in this. And they're not going to win this battle. Like, Sean Duffy is not... Trump likes him. I think they're good. Obviously, he was nominated for a cabinet position. He's in there, but they're not friends. So the Duffys are in a weird place of close with the Trumps, but not, like, in the inner circle. Well, I think they just have to stay quiet in their minds. But there's a lot of that across the board. A lot of that across the board is trying to stay quiet, trying to not offend enough. Like you said, you're worried about the job promotions, about all of that. And on the other side of this is people like Nick Fuentes have been using Catholicism, I think, in a very nasty way. He uses it to say just very nasty things, and then he never backs it up by doing anything.
Right.
So we're in a bad place on both levels. We're not saying enough, but the most ardent Catholics out there are people like Nick Fuentes, who then block the Crusade Channel. So
he's not the most ardent Catholic. First of all, let's, and I know you mean that in you're saying that in the negative here. Well, and look, Carrie Prejan Bowler said in her letter. She said, "I stood on that stage with people who were horrified of joining me. I was the only one." She's not the only Catholic in that room. She was the only one that would say this is wrong. And I'm not going to let you, this is supposed to be a commission on religious liberty. Well, let me use my liberty and tell you what my faith says about this question here. And that's really all that she did. Just and again, it is demons are at work, folks. They are at work, and the demons already sent it. They come for the children. They won't take no for an answer. Magdalene, thank you very much. We'll have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, but stay attached. I have a bad feeling that horrible things are going to happen. So when news breaks out, we will break in. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we wrap up this broadcast here today, and people may be wondering, Joe, this is all your fault. Go ahead and blame me, bro. All right, I have several that are like, shoo, you did this. So I'm like pretty sure it was 83 million others and me. I didn't do it by myself. Disappointed? I don't know. What are you supposed to do? I couldn't predict the future. I didn't have any of this on my Trump bingo card. But this is the hand that we were dealt, and now that we must deal with this and deal with it. And one thing that I at least hope comes out of the last week's worth of broadcasts, and I hope it does, and I didn't do it because of this, but I hope it does, that go read our statement of principles at MikeChurch.com, our core principles. I don't believe we violated them before this week. I certainly haven't violated them this week. And we have now had to call upon them because this is, and again, as I told one yesterday, I'm like, this is an awful thing that you have done. An awful, awful thing you have done, Bree, attacking Carrie like this. You're supposed to be a guy. I asked her, and she's working for Shapiro. We know that Maggie said this earlier, the world would be a better place without social media and influencers. I told you this 8 years ago when I said social media was not meant for the good, true, and beautiful. It was meant to promote the evil. Now, you could use it to promote the good, true, and beautiful, but it wasn't made for you. And truth be known, you don't need it. Christ didn't need it. Apostles didn't need it. You don't need it. You could use it. You don't have to have it. It's becoming apparent that was like prophetic. And you look all over X. Anyone that has any numerical influence is one of them. This is almost like we're in the movie The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know what? Maybe tonight on Creature Feature at 9, we have it. I will play The Invasion of the Body Snatchers podcast version tonight on Creature Feature at 9 here on the on the Crusade Channel, Creature Feature, which starts at 9. But it's almost like we are in the movie The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Don't go to sleep, because if you do, your replacement body snatcher will go right next to you, and then when he becomes sentient, he wakes up and he kills you, or they send you off to the factory where they grind you up. We're in an invasion of the Body Snatchers movie. And they're all around us, and they're telling you, I dare you to go to sleep. I dare you to drop your silly little Catholic guard for just a moment here. Why do you keep saying Catholic? You haven't said Catholic like this because it's an assault. It's obviously an assault on the church. Anyone that doesn't see it that way, I'd like to know how you do see it. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. Have a safe and blessed remainder of this Friday and the feast of Euphrates. And news breaks out, or horrible news breaks out, we will break in. Let me say it again. Vivo Cristo Rey. Christ is King. Christe le roi. And Christo Rex. Christ is King in 4 languages. Because he is, and he ever shall be. This too shall pass. What side of it do you pass on? I think that's the question, my friends. Hashtag pray harder. Hashtag Lent harder. There's also coincidences happening during Lent. Offer your fast up today. That's what I'm going to do. Offer your fast up today for peace. That this ends, that this horrible nightmare is just a nightmare, and that somehow it ends. But if it doesn't, gird your loins, go to St. Joseph, ask the Holy Family to be your guide, go to your patron saints, talk to your guardian angel, take it seriously, go to confession this weekend if you're a Catholic, even if you're not. Even if you're not. Go to confession, it does a body and a soul good, get in a state of grace. Stay there. That's my advice. So take it or leave it. You don't have to. Me from Meaty Udy. I will be on the John McClane podcast this afternoon. Thanks to John for inviting me at 3:30. Next Tuesday, I am on Sensus Fidelium with Steve Cunningham. So the Mike Church Show is getting back out into the public at MikeChurch.com, the all-new MikeChurch.com. The Red, White, and Dude Nation is back. I invite you, please go visit our site over the weekend. Check out the new membership levels. They're all going to be, we'll be migrating many of you, or all of you, eventually to the new membership level. So you have access to the cool stuff at MikeChurch.com and on CrusadeChannel.com. It's coming your way. All right, folks, thanks for being with us. I know you have a choice on who to listen to and who to watch, and you chose us on this day. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate your membership. If you'd like to make a donation, we'd love to receive one. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Donate links are all over all of our sites, MikeChurch.com, CrusadeChannel.com. There's going to be great stuff on Sermon Sunday this week. You're going to want to listen on your way to Mass. Safe and blessed remainder of this day, folks. God bless you and Mary keep you all. And again, if horrible news breaks out, we will break in.